everyone. This is the Easy Allies podcast. I'm your moderator, Kyle Bossman, and joining us this week, Ian Hink.
Hello.
Ben Moore.
Hello.
And Brennan Jones.
Hello.
Ian,
Wow,
what is
that
your
was the best one.
goal this week? What is your goal this week?
That this episode will be under 1 hour and 10 minutes.
That's your goal.
Yeah.
How much control do you think you got over that?
Quite a bit if I turn off the camera.
Okay. Ben, what is your goal this week?
To not sigh.
Whoa, okay.
Ooh.
Nice. Jones, what's your goal?
To reply to something as brilliant, but the way Ron Weasley would. Brilliant!
The Ray Juan Weasley.
The
would.
way
The Ray Ron Weasley. The Ray Juan Weasley.
Juan Weasley, and not lesser known Weasley brother.
Yeah.
For the Bucks.
My goal this week is to demonstrate the comedic rule of threes.
No, Lord.
God.
Let's move on to corrections. Begin.
Almost did it right there. Almost did it right there.
Have you ever just been punched?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a
Begin
podcast
corrections
back.
music,
Exactly.
please. Tekken 6 was bundled with an arcade stick, so it wasn't unreasonable for Bloodworth to think that Tekken 7 might. However, he was still very wrong.
So wrong.
Jubei has been in many BlazBlue games, including the first. He is the final of 6 of the heroes, the legendary heroes of this franchise, to be playable. So he was highly demanded. However, once the significance is ranked, we put that in a stasis field. We cannot change the significance.
No.
So you can't correct the order of
weak
significance.
goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do it.
Sorry.
Cars for Kids ads play across the U.S., but so we got a lot of people saying, yeah, I hear that. It seems like mostly like metropolitan areas.
Okay.
Like, Ben, have you ever heard Cars for Kids?
No.
Yeah, where I grew up, I never heard Cars for Kids.
I would hear them in the cities.
Like Chicago, and like when you live in
Well, no,
Chicago.
Toys
and,
for Tots I
Minneapolis.
heard a lot.
Toys for
Okay.
Tots we get, but I've heard Cards for Kids in Chicago.
Yeah.
And maybe here and there in Minneapolis, but Chicago for sure.
Yeah, I heard somebody from Minneapolis actually also
I
commented.
heard them on the radio.
So you got to like live near a city to have to deal with
Yeah.
Cars for Kids or something.
I guess.
I lived in a city.
A real city, Ben.
Like a big city, like
an actual
Minneapolis.
city. Like
Ben.
Minneapolis, Ben. The Twin Cities. You heard of it? MSP.
They
then
made
we-
a movie out of Cedar Rapids.
Ooh, you know what?
Made a movie out of Fargo too. Doesn't mean it's big.
What's the movie about Cedar Rapids? It's called Cedar Rapids.
It's called Cedar Rapids. I actually haven't seen it, but there's a guy who goes to Cedar Rapids and he's like excited because for him that's a huge.
Yeah. I remember that.
place.
I remember that.
I realized that I had another comment that was frequently corrected that I just totally forgot to put in the corrections about what AIM stands for. So just correct me again. We'll get it in there next time.
AIM?
Yeah, in the Marvel universe.
Oh, I thought you were
it is
talking
an
about
Iron Man thing. It did surface in Iron Man comics.
Instant Messenger.
AOL Instant Messenger. We had another challenge. We had a challenge to say, okay, what is the longest gap between original and remaster and remake?
Ooh.
And we got it.
Ooh,
Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap,
nice.
debuted in 1989. Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap debuted this year in 2017.
Excellent.
That is an 18-year gap.
Well
no,
done.
I'm sorry.
Full remaster.
That's a
brand new-
28-year gap.
Brand new sound effects, music,
Yep.
character
Yeah.
art, everything.
But also all the
Wow.
old stuff, too. So that's cool. And corrections music, please. To anyone who suggested a game other than that one in particular, you need to correct yourself.
Tricky.
You know what? It's just so easy for some people to just, you know what? You were wrong. Here's this thing. It's like, well, you're wrong too, actually. It's like,
Sometimes.
Dang.
First
dang.
time's always the hardest.
Dang.
Listen, everyone. We're still in the dog days of summer.
We
were doing the. What is that? Is that
Florence
a real
and the
song?
Machine.
Florence and the Machine.
Oh, I don't know Florence and the Machine.
Oh, you like it.
Oh yeah, I
You've
think I know
heard
what
that
song.
song.
I did not know she's singing "Dog Days of Summer."
The Dog Days.
The
Hey,
dark
Ian.
days are over now, I
Yeah,
think,
I
is
think
what the
she
lyric
says
is.
the okay.
Singing songs.
I'll bring my tapes, you can
I think
listen.
is a really good way to bring the podcast under an hour and 10 minutes. I think that would be a good strategy to pop some songs in there.
Oh my goodness!
Summer's not the only thing that's hot. Oh.
The humidity.
Legitimate pain.
Oh, yeah. Just
legitimate-
uncomfortable.
My mood has shifted.
He meant that one.
Okay, so I like to do this every year. We play Pop-Tarts and Toaster Strudels all year long.
First time.
We're looking at just the next 2 months. I started thinking like, well, okay, this will be the fall preview. Easy Odds Podcast fall preview. There's too many games. There are too many games in this first couple of months where I said, you know what, if I'm ever to get this under an hour and 10 minutes, I need to cut it off here. So we're just talking about August. We're just talking about September, November, December, perhaps for another day, including October. I also realized that is not included in those 2 months. Okay, so let's talk about August. Let's talk about August 2nd, the day after this podcast is recorded. Tacoma. Ian, you looked at me like, oh, this is it. I got this one. You looked like Tacoma. You were like locked and loaded for this.
I'm not responsible for the way you read into my looks.
Okay.
Still recovering.
Sure, still recovering. You know what? I think that's what that was. If you want to sing Florence and the Machine, please do. Don't let Jones drag you down. I forgot to tell everybody at home what Pop-Tarts and toaster strudels are. Pop-Tarts are a delicious game that is a delicious game that you think is potentially better than people are thinking it is. You want to draw attention to that game. You want to say, hey, I'm vouching for this game. I think it's going to be good. Toaster strudels, that's a game that you think is maybe getting a little too much attention. Maybe you're worried that our audience might pre-order that game. You want to say, well, maybe think about that a second time before you pre-order. Pump the brakes. And now we're playing a new game on top of those two games, this go-around of the Fall Preview Easy Allies 2017, where any panelist can ask any other panelist how much that game costs.
Other than you.
Yeah, because I have all the answers. It would be pointless to do that.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
How much does Tacoma cost?
Tacoma?
Yeah.
Tacoma costs $20.
Ooh, nailed it.
Yep, Ben, that's exactly what I want. Yeah.
Good.
Because I think some of these are actually pretty interesting. Yeah, Tacoma is a $20 game. That's coming out on PC, Mac, and Xbox One on August 2nd. Fulbrights did
Gone Home.
Gone Home.
All right.
And this is the follow-up. This is the game immediately following that one up. I know it takes place in a space station. That's it. That's all I know.
It's a game that I was curious about initially and then totally forgot it was coming out until Bloodworth said, hey, Tacoma's tomorrow.
Yeah.
What? What? Where did you go? Yeah, that's it.
I feel like August 2nd is a good time for Tacoma.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this August month, we're in a good space.
Yeah.
Get in
It's the
before
right time
Yakuza
for it.
Kiwami for sure.
Wait, is Yakuza Kiwami in August?
Yeah.
Ben, I don't have this down.
Ben, how much is Yakuza Kiwami?
Yeah, nice. Probably 60.
No.
Ben, oh.
Isn't Yakuza Kiwami 40 or
Yeah,
30?
it is cheaper.
It's 30, I think.
You know what happened? Is
Wow, that dropped in price immediately.
Ben, it's because it
Is it
released in
40?
Japan like months ago.
Oh,
and then
so it wasn't
didn't
on
show
the
up on
list?
my list.
That,
yeah.
because if I would have seen that on the list, I would have picked it as
that
my...
would have been your Pop-Tart.
That would have been my Pop-Tart, but it's not, so...
So, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sorry, Yakuza
Wait,
Kiwami.
but put it on the list. Like, say its name.
I need you to look up the release date for me.
I think it's August 29th.
Okay, all right. So we'll get there. We'll get that deep in the month. We're still in Tacoma. August 8th, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, coming out on PC and PS4.
That's my Pop-Tart.
Yes.
Really?
That's your Pop-Tart. Why?
Nice.
Looks good.
What do you mean it looks good?
Visually looks good. The story seems interesting. The gameplay seems interesting. The company seems respectful in how they're saying they want to deliver AAA quality at a shorter length and lower price.
What the price? Ian, how much does that game cost?
$30. I think.
Yes, that's a point for
The game looks cool because they went back to the drawing board a few times on it.
you. Yeah.
They were like, at first we were gonna make it all Souls combat and tra la la, and then they're like, the story is served better by this section not having combat and it just being this weird mind game. This game could be terrible, but I think it looks like it is gonna be really cool.
It does seem like it's been in development for a long time. And yeah, when it was revealed, I thought it was kind of a Heavenly Sword, but like freaky. And
But
I think
opposite.
it's changed
'Cause
much
Hellblade.
since then. Yeah. Oh yeah, Heavenly Sword. I think we made that joke many years ago. It's the joke worth making.
Yeah.
Are you too surprised that that's a Jones? You were surprised that that's a Pop-Tart.
Not for Ian, no. That seems like something. The challenging combat, interesting character. You know, like some psychological turmoil there. You know, like definitely not like a straightforward character.
Ticks
Not
all
you-
the boxes.
Yeah.
Ticks all the boxes. Cool.
I was
Yeah.
a bit surprised because I hadn't seen Ian express a lot of enthusiasm for other Ninja Theory games. And that's just...
Is this Ninja Theory?
Yeah, isn't it Ninja Theory?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
I mean, that's fine.
Yeah,
Because
a
this
pedigree
grabbed
for
you
sure.
and those games didn't in the same way, and that's cool.
Well, I think in the case of DMC and the case of the
Enslaved.
Monkey game, Enslaved, yep, they had a big publisher who was saying, finish this now.
Right.
And they don't have that right now. And as Ian said, they
Yeah.
were allowed to just go back and redo things that weren't working out. And I think that's an encouraging thing.
The dev diaries have been really interesting too.
It's cool you're watching Dev Diaries.
A few. I haven't watched them all. I've seen 3 maybe.
I love video games and I hate Dev Diaries.
These are interesting because the person who makes them, they were working on the game, and she is the video editor for the dev diaries. But they kept, before they had an actor for the part, they kept having her just do the stand-in stuff, and then eventually she became the actor.
She does the
she's,
facial.
she's the character in the game, and she's never acted before, and she's actually terrified of acting.
Does she do the voice as well?
She's everything. Yeah.
Whoa.
She was the one standing live on stage doing that demo, which is the most terrifying thing she said to her.
When was what?
That was 2 E3s ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
With Hellblade, I did exactly what I did for Rhyme, where I've seen a trailer for it. I know I like Ninja Theory, and I know almost nothing about that game.
Yeah.
And I just want to go in blind and play it and see what I think.
Yeah.
$30.
$30.
Short.
Yeah, great. Yakuza Kiwami is August 29th, and it is $30.
Cool. $30 for Yakuza Kiwami?
Yeah, it's
that might be where I hop in, man. That might be where I hop in.
Kyle,
That's
if you
the right
get on
price point.
if you get on this train, you're never going to want to get off. You're never going to want to get off.
I mean, we'll get to the 29th. It is a pretty packed day. But let's talk about how the 8th is pretty packed, because that is also the release date of Lawbreakers on PC and PS4. That's from Boss Key Productions. That's their first game. That's Cliff Bleszinski's studio. The one he left Epic to go make his own game. It's Lawbreakers is coming out August 8th.
This was almost my toaster strudel, but
Whoa,
I couldn't make it my toaster strudel because I think for a game like this, feel is so important, and I haven't played it,
Yeah.
and so it would be wrong to dismiss it in that way. But just everything I've seen, it's not driving with me. It's
Okay.
just I watch it and I'm just not interested.
What do you mean by not jiving? Is it the aesthetic? Is it the way that the actual game is played? So this is an arena shooter, we should say.
Right.
Low gravity arena shooter. Is that fair to call it?
Parts of it are low gravity. There's sections of the map.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and to be fair to Lawbreakers, I have not taken the time to dig into the mechanics and understand it and learn about it. It is just the aesthetic. The aesthetic feels a little by the books to me. It feels a little generic, and it's just not calling out to me in a way that I would hope. But it could also be a game that when I get my hands on it, I love the way that it feels, and it could overcome that initial barrier.
Sure.
Game Trailers alum Rohan Rivas works on that game.
Correct.
I meant no offense to Rohan.
I'll call him up later.
Okay.
Rohan, you're a toaster strudel.
Yeah.
Game sucks, bro.
You're almost a toaster strudel, Rohan. It's cool. It's games fine. Again, it just feels like that's been a game that's been in development for a long time. It's one that was announced way early. I think out of necessity, and so it is cool to see that finally come out.
The nice thing with it is it's also $30. So
Are you fishing for points?
No, I just know that.
I'm giving you a point.
Okay.
Nah.
It's also $30, which for me is if it was $60, I would say no.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't play it.
Yes.
But since it's $30, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. I'll buy it and see if I hate it.
Yeah.
Brad, who is much better at and more knowledgeable about arena shooters than I am, is excited about it, and so that's a good sign.
That is a good sign.
Yeah.
August 15th, Agents of Mayhem on PC, PS4, Xbox One. That is developed by Volition.
That is my toaster strudel.
That's your toaster strudel.
That is my toaster strudel.
Okay, so
That's my toaster strudel.
Oh no, double toaster strudel.
Because it is the type of game that I'd be curious about to
What
jump
is this
in.
game?
Okay, yeah. So describe this game to Ian and our audience. At
So the
large.
vibe is very similar to Saints Row. It's the same.
But also not.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of one of my concerns about it.
Right.
Is that I kind of want it to go full board in either direction, and it doesn't seem to be embracing the silliness as much as I would expect it to, or like delivering a crazy action game.
Right.
Kind of seems like a little bit of both. But so yeah, imagine Saints Row, but
Okay, so open world game.
but less focus on like the gang warfare and kind of like the big things affecting this crazy over the top city, and it's more like you're spies and you're kind of going. You're not like going undercover or anything. There's not a lot of stealth. Like you're just like shooting around, but you can pick at least 2, possibly 3 of the characters and switch between them just as like a button. You just whoop, literally the person teleports out and you become that other person. So like mid jump, you can just switch to another character. And
Take me to the toaster strudel part.
this
Joe.
was the
Yeah.
what was the line that Huber loves to say, like
Ahoy!
ahoy motherfucker.
Oh,
like,
that game.
yeah. So again, but that teaser was a great example where like it seemed really over the top, but it's like I'm not laughing at any of these jokes, but it's like, is that because I'm kind of maybe supposed to take the story seriously? The levels that I played, I enjoyed. Like one level I played, I think the first time I checked it out, there was a all digital cartoon character that like was an AI, so it was kind of like had achieved its own celebrity on its own, and it would like go to like signings and like movie premieres and stuff, and was getting married. But I had to like stop it from getting married, and I was in a building and it was trying to kill me. So you imagine this like very bubbly anime character being like, "You're gonna die soon, but it's okay," and like all the screens, her face was on it as all these like robots were coming to kill me.
Why are you trying to stop her from getting married?
I don't remember. Or I had to go in and discover something, or someone was trying to hurt her and then found out she was trying to kill me.
It's like Hollywood in their 30s.
Exactly like Hollywood in the 30s.
Anime characters are always getting married in the 30s.
Well, it was it's just like we're picking who you're gonna marry.
It's true.
Yeah.
The studio system.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, I like that you can switch between these characters, but none of them like really grabbed me as like, oh, this is my character that I'm gonna play as. I just appreciated the ability to switch between the two of them.
Though I'm not hearing why this is a toaster strudel. Ben, give me the toaster strudelness.
I think Joan just touching on a lot of it for me. Every trailer that I've seen, every gameplay thing, it's always hard for me when a game is intentionally trying to be funny and nothing is sticking. And not even maybe in the right context. It's just like, no, all of these feel like duds. Like all of these characters, this like flashy celebrity guy, just everything that is coming out of his mouth is not working for me. And it's disappointing because I really like Saints Row, specifically Saints Row the Third. I thought it was a hilarious game. And while I didn't like the fourth Saints Row game as much, I still thought there were pretty funny bits. And leading up to the launch of those games, I was laughing, or I was like, oh, okay, I want to see more of this style of joke. Everything that I'm seeing in Agents of Mayhem is like, no, I feel nothing. I feel nothing watching this. And everything that I've seen from the gameplay as well also is kind of giving me the same feeling. It's just, I feel no passion for it whatsoever.
Again, it's a game that I think has a better shot in August.
Yeah.
I think August is a good time for Agents of Mayhem. There's not a lot of heat on it.
It's called Agents of Mayhem, and there's not a lot of mayhem. There's way more mayhem in Saints Row.
Right.
Sure. So I see this kind of offshoot game, and my first thought is, okay, this doesn't feel like Saints Row, so clearly there was something about Saints Row that they wanted to focus on. Like, there was something like, we've made these types of game, so let's make this other game and really drill down on this one aspect. And I can't find whatever that is. Like, whatever that thing is that they worked on way more than they'd worked on previously. It's like, the characters, again, like Ben was saying, like, I'm not in love with any of them. The weapons, like, don't really seem that crazy. The world was kind of dull when I was there, and granted, it might just have been in development. Like, maybe the world there'd be a lot more going on, but it didn't seem like, even like a GTA or even like a Yakuza, where it's just like, oh, so many characters screaming at me and all sorts of crazy stuff happening. Just kind of like, just very, like, blank, generic city background.
Yeah.
And it was like Crackdown, where it's like, I'm jumping really high and clambering on stuff.
The thing that I want to make clear, it's okay if it's not batshit crazy like Saints Row. Like, Saints Row is the epitome of batshit crazy. I don't think there's anything wrong with paring that down, but when you see Agents of Mayhem in motion, it does feel like it's going for this off-the-wall kind of zany thing, but it's just not doing it very well. Honestly, the game that I most readily think of when I see Agents of Mayhem is Battleborn, and that was a game where the vibe also just did not gel with me.
I actually looked it up because I was curious about when the last numbered Saints Row game was. It was 2013. We had Gat Out of Hell since then.
Yeah, I was going to say that was after that.
And I think Gat's in Mayhem as well. I think he's like an unlockable character or something.
He's a pre-order character.
He's a pre-order character, yeah.
I think if you pre-order the game at GameStop, you get Johnny Gat.
That's hilarious.
So there we go. There's a little humor in the game.
Saints Row 4 was the first review I did for Game Shows after I got hired full time.
Ooh, what'd you give it?
Out of Hell was?
I think I gave it a 7 or maybe a 7.5, somewhere in the 7s.
7.5. Good review to start off on.
Yeah.
I was so nervous. It was my first day, and it's like, hey, do you want the next Saints Row? It's like, that seems kind of big, but okay.
August 15th, Matterfall on PS4. This is Housemarque's twin stick shooter where it's like 2D. You're like a person in this one, as opposed to Nex Machina, which just came out, which is a more traditional twin stick shooter. That's coming out on that date.
Look pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Saw it before I saw the PlayStation conference at E3 this
Jones,
year.
how much that game cost?
I was just going to do that.
$20.
Ooh, that's a point for Jones. Yeah, we don't have to have a long conversation about every game. Exactly. That game is what
But
that
if
game
you,
is.
I saw that game in motion and guessed how much it was, so
Yeah.
it's a $20 game. Sure. $20 side scroll.
Jones just nothing but net.
August 15th, Nidhogg 2 on PC, Mac, and PS4.
I love Nidhogg.
Nidhogg's
I
great.
bet I will like Nidhogg too.
Sure.
It's pretty crazy. I played it with Blood and met the developers,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun.
I was trying to look them up. I think the developers have only made Nidhogg, and this next time they're
I
working on
believe.
Nidhogg 2.
Well, I think they've made a few other things. I don't recall them at this time, but
Okay.
Nidhogg I think was the biggest one that they've made.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
So-
that technically you could never finish one match of Nidhogg. You could play Nidhogg until you die. Like
Blood and I had a
Oh, I see
couple
what
that
you
were
mean, yeah.
like a couple of minutes, and then we literally played one that was 30 minutes long.
Whoa.
Because we were both just like evenly matched.
Were you
and,
having
like,
fun the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we were filming, so I was kind of like, oh man, I want.
Who was saltier?
Neither of us were salty,
Well,
but
A stoic Nidhogg match.
us and the devs were like, one of you could just give in.
Yeah.
You know, and then the other one was like, yeah, you could.
They were getting frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At your stalemate. That's pretty
It
good.
was pretty funny.
Yeah, you know what? They went for something with the art style. It is very different from Nidhogg 1. I'm kind of happy they went for something.
To be fair, it looks and plays way, way, way better in person than it did on that trailer, and they had changed it a lot since that trailer.
Yeah.
So like, I think it was an easy update that we did this for. I don't. Remember,
Yeah, I think it was.
but yeah,
I think you did an easy update.
But it looked way more HD. It looked really good. The backgrounds were really cool. So I'd seen that trailer like a month before that or whatever, and it looked way better now.
One thing I
So
really
it's
love
cool.
about Nidhogg is it reminds me of the 90s, and a lot of the things that you would do in the 90s is you would have entire marketing campaigns based on look at how freakishly ugly these characters are.
Yeah.
And it's just like, whoa, this one's got snot coming out of its eyes.
Booger Man.
Yeah, right. Or something along those lines. That's what I
Garbage
like
Pail Kid,
about
yeah.
Nidhogg too. It's
Yeah.
just like this is super ugly, and we think that's cool.
Ben,
I'm
how much
into
does that game cost?
Nidhogg 2?
Yep.
I'm going to say $20.
Nope, 15. That's minus 1 point, Ben.
Ooh.
Also you lost
Back in the
point.
hole.
August 15th, Sonic Mania is coming out.
This is my Pop Tart.
There we go. Here we- We're burning all our Pop-Tarts and Toaster Strudels in August. PC, PS4, Switch, Xbox One. Sonic Mania is a sequel to Sonic games, Ben? 2D Sonic sequel?
I hate using this phrase.
Sure.
I force myself not to use this phrase in reviews, but I'm going to say it on this podcast. Sonic Mania is a love letter to Sonic. That is what it is. It is not.
Yeah, Ben, I hate that too.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad. Yeah, it's bad. But I'm going to do it. Sometimes you have to break the rules.
Sure.
Uh,
How about Love Text? Let's modernize it.
Yeah.
Love text.
It is a sext to the Sonic
a
series.
We should
Sex.
do for the bet. We should do love letter. How many love letters are going to be in the reviews?
Oh
Sonic
yeah.
Mania that week.
Of Sonic Mania.
Yeah,
No, but it's
One.
in Ben's review.
It feels like a rebirth of Sonic, which
Sure.
is a weird thing to say because I feel like every Sonic game they're trying to rebrand it or go in a different direction or something like that. But this is a Sonic game that has a lot of new things, it has a lot of old things, and it has a lot of mixture of the two. So they're brand new levels done in that classic Genesis Sonic style, which look fantastic.
Real
But what's
good.
even better is like these people know Sonic. They understand Sonic. Studiopolis is not just, oh, we thought this would be cool. It's like this is based on a design that never made it into these games. These idle animations that you're seeing, this popcorn machine is a reference to some popcorn machine in the Sega offices. Like it's just so insanely detailed. You like whoever made this must be crazy, but they're crazy in the best possible way. And you play it and it feels like your childhood. It feels perfect. It feels exactly how you want it to feel, and that's so important. Like, if you ever cared about Sonic, I don't know how you can play this and just not gush about it.
I didn't care about Sonic, and I played Sonic Mania and very much enjoyed myself.
Whoa, Jones even.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
I
really.
was not a Sonic fan back in
Ian
the day.
too?
I
Just didn't
played
get
it,
into
yeah,
the
it's
pace
great.
of it.
We're
And
all in
it
Sonic
might just
Mania.
because I'm older and wiser, but played this at Judges Week and loved it.
Well, the problem
A
is
lot of
like
fun.
Sonic 4 came out and it felt sluggish and weird and off.
It
And
was
this,
ass.
Yeah, and this feels right. It feels like the old Sonic. Like even to the point where it like you can get stuck in those like trying to get out of this thing, but you're bouncing off the thing like you do in old Sonic. Like the things that were like weird about old Sonic are here, but in a great way.
And they have some levels where, you know, there are multiple acts in Sonic games, and then the first act will be what you would expect it to with some modifications, and then the second act will be just a totally new like version of this zone that
Yes.
you know and love.
Yeah,
versions.
with like a different version of the song. Even.
Yes!
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And like really cool sprite animations, like you can stand on a little stool at this like juice bar in the movie theater level, and he'll
Wait,
like
really?
spin around, and you see him
I
in
did not know
3D,
this.
but it's like a sprite. It's really great stuff. They were showing me all kinds of crazy secrets, like homages and stuff in the
I
demo
love
that I did
stuff
at
like
E3.
that.
It's crazy. It's like rife with these references and stuff.
Sonic
like Ben was
Mania could
saying.
be huge. That could be one of the biggest games of the month.
Do not miss it.
Yeah. Do not.
I'm
miss
gonna
it.
get it on the Switch. I think
It's good Pop Tart.
It's a love letter.
it's a love letter to Sonic.
On August 22nd, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy will be released on PS4. And the reason why that's here, as in most DLC expansions wouldn't be, that's a standalone game.
Yeah, multiplayer standalone too. You get all the multiplayer with it.
Oh,
Really?
Wow, I didn't
Yes.
know that.
Okay. Jones, is your face in that game?
Damn it.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was good.
So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that might be very,
You're
very
excited
good.
that your face is in it?
Yeah. People are gonna be able to spend money on my face.
Did they have to buy it?
Yeah, you have to buy that. That's a microtransaction.
What is it called? Does it like hint to you guys? Or?
Yeah. Blood's was Bloodworthy. Huber's is Hubris, and mine is Boss Man.
Hubris, huh?
Yeah.
That's pretty hilarious.
And I'm sorry if you don't know what
They're
we're
just
talking
little
about.
helmets.
For some reason, Huber, Bloodworth, and myself lucked into being scanned in as weird Greek helmets for Uncharted characters. And
We're trying really hard to get that big publisher sponsorship, but for now we're heads.
We're just,
you gotta start somewhere.
Reds. The Lost Legacy is an expansion. It's its own game, and apparently it's huge. Apparently it's very big. Apparently it's telling a bigger story. It's got bigger environments. It is its own thing. And I really like Uncharted 4. I think there's reason to be excited about this.
I bet it'll be good.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's gonna
That's
be
my-
good.
that's
And
my
you
hot
play as
bet.
Chloe, right?
Ian, how much is that
Yes.
game?
Ooh. The other one standalone was $15, I think, but this is $19.99.
Ooh, that's so off. It's $40.
Whoa!
You got the
Out of
multiplayer
that
though
hole.
too.
Sorry, Ian, we got to take a point off.
Good lord, $40?
Yeah.
So am I
God.
at 0?
It better be long.
Do you want a point for
No,
doing that to Ian?
Oh, it's only if they call on you?
Why, do you want a point?
Well, I thought if you got somebody, like, you got them, you know, you get
Okay,
a point.
you know what? I'm
Okay,
giving
yeah,
Ben a
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
What? Because I want to encourage you to try to.
But that hasn't happened
to
yet,
attack
right?
each
That's the
other.
first
Yeah,
time that's happened,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay.
All right,
'Cause
all
it's-
right.
It's been me every time.
Right,
so
right.
yeah. Okay.
It's
Ben,
Ben.
you're 0.
Got them.
What am I at? Like 1?
You're at 1. Yep. Jones is at 1. Just to keep everybody on the same page there.
Beat Jones.
You know what? There's not too much to say about it. I'm media blackout. I
Yeah,
don't want to
let's-
see more of
it'll
this
be
game.
fine,
I just
it'll
want
be
to play
fine.
it when it comes out. It's going to
be
be
good.
very
There are people
good.
that cover
Yeah,
games
what
that
what
don't
I,
like to
what
know
I have
anything
seen of the
beforehand.
game, because I cut the preview that
We're enthusiasts,
Huber
not
went to,
professionals.
was not
Yeah.
like they're doing what with this game. It was
Yeah.
just like, yep,
Yeah.
I hope there's less shooting.
2 female characters,
I mean, yeah,
very different dynamic than they've had previously. So
That'll be good.
2 people that do not work together typically, and so,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited about the banter between the two of them.
They're
I
gonna
think
be
it'll
trade
I think it'll
awesome.
be nice and
I mean,
fresh.
Chloe's awesome too.
I
but-
predict that they betray each other no less than 4 times.
That's a good.
I think
less than 4.
I can. Yeah, there's one in the trailer. You can see in the E3 trailer. You can see at least one house
Right,
clearly.
yeah.
On August 25th, Madden NFL 18 coming to PS4, Xbox One. Look,
That's my pop.
Unqualified.
listen. Why do I keep saying listen? I hate people who say listen and then
Listen.
I adopt it. Yeah,
fishy.
Listen. So, why I put that on? Maybe we'll get into it more. That is the first Madden game that will not be on Xbox 360. Will not be on PS3.
Nice. Always a good feeling when that happens.
Yeah.
Let it die.
Yeah. I don't know if that's a good feeling, Jones.
Yeah, man.
What? Let the PS3 and Xbox 360 owners play Madden.
Got focus, baby.
Yeah, you're right.
You gotta,
I mean,
you gotta
you
update
cut
all
off
those new
eventually.
features.
Jones
you gotta
hates
think.
poor people.
It's not this. It's not the first one.
Embrace
I mean,
the
that's
inevitable march
documented.
forward.
No, it's not. Maybe the first one isn't that real kicker where they finally get to put pour all the resources into one gen. But that next one, I think it'll be nice.
Yeah, so this
We'll
is
see some crazy new feature in the
This
next
is a
Madden.
switch to Frostbite as well, Jones, and this is
Yeah.
where they have their story mode. And yeah, it will be a different Madden game than the one that existed last year. On August 29th, Absolver. Absolver is a game that. Go ahead.
Well, you can go.
Sure. On PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Absolver is a game that I hear a lot. I hear about this game. I have no idea what it actually is.
It was almost my Pop-Tart.
Ooh.
Oh,
It's Souls-esque martial arts. You can kind of design your own martial art.
Whoa.
Sort of. You like assign what things happen on what buttons and combos, what things do what.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm worried about it. I hope it's good.
So that's why it wasn't your Pop-Tart, is because there's this little mystery to it still.
trepidation.
What makes you
yeah.
worried?
I just don't know if it's going to be solid enough, and I think that there are, at least at the E3 or GDC demo that I played, the last boss was another player. So it's like a scheduled invasion where it's like the monk from Demon's Souls, where it's like you have to face someone to get past that part. And I just hope that like if they're building it in intrinsically into the game like that, I hope the netcode is really good, and I hope that the mechanics are really good.
Building your
If that's
own
part of the
fighting
game, I don't know.
style
It sounds cool.
nuts.
And the
Like-
punches and kicks have a lot of impact.
Yeah.
to it.
Cool.
Something just from looking, it looked like each thing had like
the
less
impression
little
I-
oomph behind them.
The impression I had from this game at the demo was, this is not a game that will demo well, because I want to
Yeah.
sit down and play this for like an hour
yes.
to set up my stuff.
Sure.
Before I even like leave the first area.
It's kind of simplistic art design too, like not a lot
Yeah.
of facial definition, and
It looks like a dirty
the polygons are kind of
bound.
Yeah. Okay.
Dirty Bound.
Kinda.
Cool.
Like the faces look similar to that.
It kind of
like
reminds me of
that
Mark
just
of
kinda
Cree
mask.
on the
Dirty Bound.
PS2, kind of that style
Yeah.
a little bit.
Nice, man.
Thank you.
Developer Slow Clap, who I think this might be their first game. There are formerly Ubisoft Paris people.
Yeah, I was
People
gonna
from
say
that
they
team,
like
but-
left
I
somewhere.
really like that
yeah.
studio name.
Yeah.
SLOCLAP.
Jones, how much did that game cost?
20 again.
30 bucks.
30.
I was like,
That's a point. You're a zero.
I was
now.
like, I knew this.
Okay, so August 29th is a big one. Also on August 29th, Everybody's Golf on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Almost my Pop-Tart.
Really? Almost your Pop-Tarts?
Yeah. I don't know if I could give everybody's
Jones, I
golf
respect you a
a
little bit
Pop-Tart.
So Jones,
Wait.
Because I don't
that
have a
can be-
hit. Because I don't have the history there. So I don't know if the thing is the struggle I'm having with my Pop-Tart Toaster Strudel selection is
Yeah.
that I don't think I'm playing any of these games in August. Like I'm going to be working on the Dark Souls retro and catching up on other stuff.
You're not
respect
going to
that.
play one of these games.
I don't think so.
Wow.
Maybe Uncharted. Maybe.
What about Sonic Mania,
But I like
dude?
to. I
You
mean,
just
probably
got
playing
Sonic
Persona
Mania.
5. I'm probably
Slap
playing.
Sonic Mania on your Switch. It's
That's a
over.
good choice.
Persona 5's done.
over.
You
It's
missed
over.
it.
Okay, that's not true. That's bullshit.
A lot of
It's not
conflicting,
over.
a lot of
That is a
conflicting Ben
game-
opinions right
no,
now on the table.
that will be coming up at the end of the year. We'll have serious discussions
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
true.
It's
You need
not
to
I want to
over.
be prepared. I want to be prepared.
That is
Yeah.
a ridiculous statement.
I want to get done. Yeah, Kamoshida's at least. I want to get through.
Yeah, sure. Wait, so Jones,
So
I'm
I don't-
sorry,
I-
I've never heard of Everybody's Golf. You talk about a legacy. I've never heard of a game called Everybody's Golf before.
Hot Shots is maybe the franchise.
Oh, I
that you're
love
familiar
Hot
with.
Shots Golf.
And
That's
it's
what
interesting
this
that it's.
is.
Will it be called Hot Shots in the States or is it?
No, no,
No, it's everybody's
So-
golf. So that's
Yeah, this is
This is the
basically
first time?
the official rebranding. Is the
Yeah,
first time it's ever been called
okay.
Why
Everybody's
are
Golf.
they doing that? Because like Huber and all you guys were so excited about Everybody's Golf, and I'm like, what is that? I've
Yeah,
never
so
heard
I
of
think in
this.
Japan it's called Mina no Golf, which kind of translate to Everybody's Golf. In Japan, this particular game is called New Everybody's Golf, and so I think this is a good time to just reboot it. And so
But it used to be Hot Shots Golf.
yeah, this is the Hot Shots Golf franchise.
make it right.
Make it right.
Huh.
But yeah, it looks like you can invest a lot in your character. It's kind of got like MMO vibes. You can like walk
Right.
around the golf
You can
course
go
and like see
fishing.
other people. Yeah, you can like when you're like actually golfing, there's people like all over the course, just like
Yeah.
like walking around. You're like, excuse me, everybody.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like traditional golf controls, just everything I loved about my Mario Golf and just those old golf games.
Yeah.
I played it for a long time before the Sony press conference. That's why I've like checked everything out. I was like, well,
Oh, at
there's
E3
no,
you mean,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
line in Everybody's Golf. So I just sat down on a big leather couch before we were waiting to get into the Sony press conference and played good 15, 20 minutes of Everybody's Golf.
So then, real quick, let me ask you like an actual mechanical question about it. Is it like Mario Golf where
Yep.
you hit
Bink,
X
bink,
once,
bink. Yep.
you have
Hit
to
it
hit
again.
it for power, and then hit
And
it
then
again
back,
for
and then
accuracy?
you
Yep,
gotta-
exactly.
And then you do the spins midair on that one,
I
right?
did not get into any spinach.
Oh, okay.
I just But
Cool.
did pretty well. Just
Yeah.
playing that and just super jolly, cheerful game.
Yep.
But
We say
again, like,
jolly
am I
a lot,
going
but
to
it's
put
totally
off doing a
applicable
Cup
here.
of Jones for Everybody's Golf? I don't know. I don't think so in August, but
We'll have a tournament.
I think it would make a fantastic group stream game. Hopefully, it gets voted.
How much that game cost, Jones?
I'm going full price. I think that might be 60.
It's 40.
40. Damn it, John.
Oh,
hey, good for-
40.
I'm stoked. It's 40.
Those
though.
40s,
Negative
dude.
2.
Yeah, that's a good 40. That's a really good 40. No, you're just -1, Jones.
Happy to hear this for you.
Also on the 29th, and look, this is it is a re-release of a very old game. It's the only one I have on this list, but I kind of feel like it has a lot of hype behind it. Windjammers.
Yes. So I debated for a
okay,
long
man, help me out
time.
with this.
I debated for a long time between Sonic Mania and Windjammers.
Okay, so this comes out on PS4 and Vita, but explain
Yeah.
to us why this was potentially a Pop-Tart. Windjammers.
I
this
think
old
Windjammers
Neo Geo
will.
game.
Yes, I think Windjammers will be the best Easy Allies group stream that we ever have. And here's why. Windjammers is a fantastic video game. And I have to give credit to Giant Bomb because they're the ones that introduced me to its existence.
And I think why it's here, to be honest with you.
Sure, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, they seemed like they were having a blast with it. And then I played it, and it's so good. So it's basically like this disc volleyball where you have two people on each side, and you throw this disc, and you try to...
Top-down.
It's top down, right?
down.
And then you have like these different goals, and on the sides it's worth like 3 points, and then if you get in the center it's worth 5 points. Then if you get on the ground it's worth 2 points. But it has those classic like exaggerated anime Neo Geo characters, and you get like crazy special moves where you throw the disc and it'll be on fire and stuff. And it feels so tight. It's one of those games where you can pick it up and understand it immediately.
Yeah.
And if you're playing with somebody that is at the same skill level, you will be guaranteed to have an interesting match right out the gate. And then the more time that you put into it, the more you get out of it. Like there's a lot of depth there as well. So Windjammers,
How much does
thumbs
it
up.
cost, Ben?
Windjammers cost. I'm gonna say 20.
Here's the
my
problem.
guess.
I don't have a price on this one.
Give me a point.
You both
us
want a
both
point?
a point.
Okay, all right, fine.
Wow.
But probably 20. That's my guess.
Yeah, I don't think they've announced
How many
the
other
price
games
or
do you not
something.
have?
That was it.
Totals for?
That
Just
was
that
it.
one?
Yeah. Because like a lot of them, I would go to like Steam and I'm like pre-order now or something like that.
Good job.
Right.
Oh, and I realized before you correct me, you can pre-order these games for cheaper, especially on Steam. You had like pre-order bonuses, but I'm going for like MSRP. This is what the game costs at its fullest, as opposed to on its most at
$15
sale.
probably. 15.
For Windjammers? My guess would be 20.
My guess would be $19.99, but
Yeah, yeah.
I
I feel
wouldn't-
like 20
wouldn't
is
be
the new
surprised-
15.
I wouldn't be surprised at $14.99. If they go 10, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Again, Yakuza Kiwami on the 29th, but finally, maybe the biggest.
We're just gonna breeze over that one, huh?
Yep. Okay, so Yakuza Kiwami is a remake of the first game, of Yakuza
Yes,
1. It's
yes.
another chance to go through the story of Yakuza 1 before we have to step in the world
What
of
does
Yakuza
Kiwami
6, the Song of Life.
I don't know what Kiwami means. That's a good question.
I think it's like Gaiden, where it's just like we just add this to a story. I think it's that kind of word.
I don't question it. But Kiwami's really cool because, like, Yakuza 1 is rough in a lot of ways. It was we're figuring out this style, and we're figuring out storytelling. And so they've gone back with like all of the things that they've learned throughout the entire series. They've added things to like more connect it to Zero and like flesh a lot of that stuff out. And then you have the style mechanics of Zero, which were a blast to do in this game as well. And it's only $30.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's
Ooh,
great.
Hey, you just snuck that in, huh? Oh, you already looked that up. You already
Yeah, I
looked it
did.
up.
I already looked it up.
You
and I
looked
said
it
it,
up.
yeah.
So is Ray Liotta in this one?
Ray Liotta is not in this, no.
Oh,
Is he
okay,
in the
that's a
other one?
pass. Yeah, well, he.
Oh, okay,
It's the
that's
only
a
one that's
pass.
ever been dubbed. It was Yakuza 1.
Right, Yakuza 1, yeah.
And they like paid way too much money for it. They spent money on Ray Liotta and I like more
Mark
stuff.
Hamill was
Whoa.
Majima.
Okay,
Wow.
yeah. They spent too much money on the voice
They
cast.
didn't transfer that over to this version?
And never since then has it ever been dubbed.
Wow.
Right, so Yakuza 2, which also came out in North America on PS2, was not dubbed.
Yeah.
Wow.
They put a ton of money into it, and it wasn't in North America the success that they had hoped for.
Yeah.
So, and that's why it's been such a struggle getting Yakuza here.
Kept
but-
Just
the
'cause that
guy
first one, because
from
I
Vice
think
City
yeah.
to be in our open world gangster game.
I mean, Goodfellas.
Yeah, but he was already in a video open world gangster video game.
Yeah, but Ray Liotta doesn't cost money because of GTA. It costs money because of Goodfellas
I know that.
and B-movie.
Right.
Okay.
And Ray Donovan. Or is that Liev Schreiber?
Let's leave Shriver.
They're all the same.
They're similar. Not really. Man, I would say there's like a 30-year-old, well, maybe 20 age gap.
I don't care.
At
Correct
least,
us. Correct us.
How much is that age gap? -2.
Lastly, on the 29th, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle on the Nintendo Switch.
Too hot.
Hot damn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very close to being my Pop-Tart as well.
Yeah.
Boy,
game looks
August is
dank.
It's a
Good
good
month.
month. Exactly.
Yeah.
This is why I had to
August
there had to be
29th
half
is,
this episode.
is lit.
Yeah, it's a good day. August 29th is a good day.
We've got a preview of Mario Rabbids that went up, I think, on Tuesday, so check that out.
Yeah.
Who edited that?
Oh, I did.
Oh.
That's the only reason I know about it.
Yeah. So what'd you see in that preview? You edited it. You looked at all the footage.
Ghost level.
Okay.
Cool ghost level with boos that take their own turn. It looked pretty cool.
A third party?
I
you
kind
mean?
Yeah.
of wish I didn't know this.
Oh, spoilers.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean,
You were yelling at me for not looking at other trailers for the games that I was at for Uncharted.
what? I was yelling at you?
You were yelling at me.
I don't think I was yelling
We're
at you.
enthusiasts, not
You
professionals.
raised your voice,
Check
Ben.
your tape. Check your tape. Ben raised
Did
his
I?
voice and pointed at my face.
Did I?
Yeah.
He threw like weird, like it was like some kind of ashes too.
Yeah. What were those
I don't know what
ashes?
those were.
Whose were those?
Were those human ashes?
Those were rabbit ashes.
Rabbit ashes.
Yeah.
Rabbit?
Rabbit, singular. One rabbit.
Oh, okay.
I killed it.
Was it dressed as a Mario character?
It was dressed as a Sonic character.
Whoa!
okay,
So that's how it had to die.
not right.
That's
Yeah.
why it had to die.
Ian, without spoiling anything for Ben, you watch this. You're pretty
No, it's
sold.
okay.
You're sold on the game.
Oh yeah. I mean, I was sold on it. I went hard out
From the
from the
announcement.
leaks, from
Yep.
the PowerPoint that leaks,
Yep.
to I think the exact moment that I was hard in is when they cut to the director being honored by Miyamoto.
Yeah.
And he was like crying, and I was like, I am playing this game.
Nice.
I am hard
Isn't
into
that
this game.
the turn that everyone?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I was like, wow, this guy's. I think that was before they even showed it.
Yeah.
That was like, or maybe it was after they showed it. But I was like, wow,
I was on this very podcast shitting on that game
Yeah.
very loudly.
I was probably on
and
that episode too.
Feels bad. I was
How
wrong.
wrong were we?
Jones, let me ask you something.
Well, again, yeah, we don't know, but
Does this game feel humorous to you?
Oh, definitely.
Will you laugh at this game?
Sure. Because it seems to understand itself. It seems like that Ubisoft and Nintendo, neither party is confused over what's being done here. So when I see something that surprises me because it's not something Nintendo is typically doing, it's not like, oh, I think that slipped past the Nintendo censors. It's like, wow, go Nintendo for being
Right.
comfortable with that.
Yeah.
and it's not like Minions. Like it feels like it could very easily be Minions, but it feels a little more good-natured than that. The jokes are not like weird, like almost potty jokes that I've seen. They're like actually funny, like slapstick and stuff. There's one character intro of these characters that hop a lot, and they all hop off each other, and then they go up, and then it does the like, Borderlands like hopper or whatever, and then it comes out, and Mario like walks up, and he's like looking at these guys, and then one of them like falls off a cliff because like they judged the jump wrong, and he like falls past down a cliff, and then the other two are like, oh crap, and they like grab him and like pull him back up, and it's like well timed. It's pretty funny.
You know what would be super funny? If Johnny Gat was a pre-order character.
He is.
That would be
Oh,
very
okay.
surprising.
Well, it's a rabid dress.
But they announced it at the last minute, like
Yeah,
week
yeah.
before.
Yeah. Finally, on the last day of August, the August 31st,
Oh.
we have one last game. Life is Strange, Before the Storm, Episode 1. And that is on PC, PS4, Xbox One. The one thing that I want to make clear, because I feel like this comes up every single time, developer on that is Deck 9, not Don't Nod. That is a new
Right.
studio working on a new prequel to Life is Strange.
And
Yeah. You talk about passion with Rabbids, like these, they loved Life is Strange, so a lot of passion going into this one.
but this is all
Life
new
is Strange
people.
is worth loving.
All new people.
I mean, 3 episodes
And
in.
passion doesn't necessarily translate into quality, so.
Well, and like to me, it's really weird.
Well, I haven't
I
seen
mean,
the rest
like-
of it,
I know the voice actors from the first game, so like there's that. But like, it is kind of a weird choice to like scab on the strike and have new voice actors in this one playing the same characters.
Oh, yeah.
That's weird.
You're right.
Like, wait or pay the thing. Like,
I'm sure nobody's happy
or
about
whatever.
it, for
Like,
sure.
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of all that stuff, but like, it seems like a weird move to me. Older games are grandfathered in. Like, if they're working on them before like 2015 or whatever, they can still do it. But like, yeah, I don't know.
But I can think there's a little leeway if you're the younger you're the younger version of a character.
I guess, but it's like 3 years or something.
Yeah.
It's not, they're still like they're teens in the other game. They're
I
preteens
brought up that
in this one.
excuse on something. I don't know if it was on a stream
Yeah.
or something, and somebody tweeted at me. They're like, "You see young Chloe in the first game, so
Right.
Oh, I
sorry,
see.
You're fired.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, you're right.
Yeah. They don't-
Like this version of her we've already seen.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, you all hear that?
oh.
Sounds like it's podcast halftime.
The following are the official sponsors of Easy Allies for the month of August. I sometimes screw up that first one. I say the last month's name, but I didn't do it now. August.
New sponsorship.
New sponsorship,
Great.
new month. One of them, Michael Kozachenko, who is producing video game long-form reviews on YouTube at youtube.com/MishaKoz. iKeyless. Need a new car key or remote? iKeyless.com has been in the key replacement business since 2002. Check them out today, and they can help save you up to 75% off of the dealership's prices. If you type in offer code EZA at checkout, you'll get 15% off of your order. L. Fanis. Jojo Dent Co., your friendly automotive dent repair expert. If you're currently an EZA patron and are in the Denver metropolitan area, tweet at FastMower if you would like to have your minor door dings repaired free of charge.
Whoa.
Iron Harvest, a real-time strategy game for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, currently in development at King Art Games. Join their community and help them bring the alternate reality of 1920 plus to life. Mango. Hogue Law Business Law Firm. Whether you're starting a business at level 1, stuck fighting the dreaded fundraising boss, or finally cashing out with a well-earned high score, you need a good business lawyer at your side. Rick Hogue started Hogue Law to bring more than a decade of experience to companies like yours, and is proud to support the Allies. Check him out at www.hoaglaw.com. Scorn, an atmospheric horror adventure developed by Ebb Software set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. Go to scorn-game.com for more information. Scorn is my Pop-Tart. All of these links are available in the description. Thank you to our sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
Thank you, sponsors.
We're moving into September. It already feels like we're in the fall season when we just got through August. I'm exhausted by all the good games.
And October, November, intense.
Insane.
Yes.
October
Intense.
is like the craziest month in video game history.
We're deep into the podcast. We're going to try to get through September a little faster, but how could we when on September 5th we see the release of Knack 2 on PlayStation 4? Ben, what's that about?
No, I mean,
You promised not to sigh. Your goal was no sighs.
Did I sigh? Was that a sigh?
That was almost a sigh.
Isn't
It was almost. I've done a lot of almost
sighs.
sighs this
Yeah,
podcast.
okay.
But I've tried to be very conscientious.
Are we only counting like?
I don't
No,
think
I
that was a sigh.
don't think that was a sigh, because if that was you're like reading a novel,
Yep.
that would
Right.
say, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that
I
would
don't
be
think
like
it was a
Ben
sigh.
sighs.
Because if I
sigh.
see that in a novel, I'm thinking, ooh.
But you don't read
No,
novels.
if it goes down, right, you don't read.
It would be the OH, like OHHHHH.
It was walking a thin line. I'll give you that.
Jones, if I'm scripting it, the parenthetical is sigh.
Okay.
You're just trying to bust my chops.
I'm
I don't
busting
think that was
A
a
sigh
sigh. I
is-
don't think that was a sigh. No, I just wanted to get home before midnight, and then you said Knack 2. So
Oh, okay. Because we can talk about it for the rest of this
yes,
podcast.
that's why I was
Yeah.
so close to the sigh. Yeah.
I think
Knack
a
2
sigh is unvoiced.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
that it has no letters.
Yeah.
That's a sigh.
You would just write sigh.
A sigh is
you would
unvoiced.
just write Ben sighs in the direction even. You wouldn't even give it a
Yeah,
line
yeah,
of
yeah.
dialogue. Knack 2 it's a weird game in that it seems vastly improved, but I think we'll fly straight under the radar
Yeah, nobody's
again.
buying that.
That's such a perfect way to describe Knack
Yeah.
2. Knack 2 seems like a vastly improved game that feels really weird.
Ben, how much does Knack 2 cost?
Ooh.
$60.
Wrong 40.
Wow.
I got
All
a
these
point.
budget games,
I
man.
darted it.
Ben's back to zero. Yeah, that's a budget one. That's a $40 game.
These 40s are tricky.
I thought
Yeah.
40, but then I was like, it deserves full price. So
All right.
Your head
Rabbids
said
is full
40,
price,
but your
right?
body said.
Sorry?
Nobody joked on rabbits, but that's full price, right?
Yes,
That's
yeah,
60
yeah.
or something,
Right, it's full price.
for
yeah,
real though,
I would pay 80 for that.
I'm somebody
I
that
would-
reviewed
I
Knack and
would
gave it a
not.
low score, and based on the impressions at E3 and based on what they've shown so far, I think it's got a shot at being pretty good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40 gives it a chance, I think. 40 gives it a shot.
Yeah.
Of
The
not getting
graphics
ignored.
are good.
The next day, September 6th, we see the release of Destiny 2 on PS4, Xbox One, PC, not till October, but it is coming. Yeah.
Man, I wish you could cross save.
Yeah.
Because I would buy it on PC and
Mm.
PS4.
I think they might be planning on some people buying 2 copies.
Then they're bastards.
Yeah.
I don't want to grind 2 worthless characters.
I think that Activision would be happy for you to grind 2 characters.
Yeah.
And
I feel like, sorry, I
No,
cut
go
you off.
ahead.
I feel like Destiny 2 is the hardest game to read on that list.
oh,
we're all
like
gonna-
whether it's a
on the
Pop-Tart or
list,
Toaster
whoa.
Strudel,
On the
you mean?
list. No, not Pop-Tart or Toaster Strudel, just, I think it will be a Pop-Tart. It's just now I'm less confident in how much of a Pop-Tart it will be.
Sure.
Because the beta came out, and a lot of people are complaining about a lot of things, and they come out and they said, well, we're fixing some of those things. And so it's just kind of a weird vibe at the moment because you also have a lot of people that really liked the beta. And so you take a step back and you think to yourself, how many of these people are voraciously complaining about the beta and everywhere they can find, but are still going to buy it and play it? There's that infamous image of people complaining about Modern Warfare 2, and then the day it comes out, like everybody bought it. I can't tell if it's that. I can't tell if it's just people are a little bit too close to the sun, or if there are real problems and it's not going to do as well as I think it can. I'm completely unsure about Destiny 2.
Can you fill me in on the types of complaints that the beta was receiving?
Yeah, the types there. So there are a lot. So the cooldowns. A lot of people are saying they're balancing PvE for PvP, where a lot of the things that they're changing, they're doing it so PvP is better, but that's making PvE worse. They're saying the guns feel weaker, they sound weaker, they don't have the oomph that they had before.
Sure.
The cooldowns are a lot longer. They've also changed how weapons work. So things like shotguns and sniper rifles are now relegated to power weapons.
That was really annoying.
Instead of special weapons.
Oh, weird.
Which means you can't use them as often as you could before, because power weapon ammo is the scarcest ammo you can find.
And like I thought I got a good energy scout rifle, and I like using scout rifles as my main, but it was on my my energy. They have like
they have kinetic
and then energy, and I
Yeah.
was like, why? That's weird, because like I want to use my scout rifle. I can't remember why I couldn't, but.
And then you have new abilities for each of the classes, and some people are underwhelmed by some of those. They're saying, okay, Titan has a really good ability, but Hunter's ability, the role, doesn't seem as good as the others, and it's just a lot of different things. I think some of that is people have spent their entire lives playing Destiny since it came out. Like
Destiny, they'll be the most critical.
Destiny has a really intense and dedicated fan base, and that's something it should be proud of. And I just wonder how severe these complaints are and how much it is or is not turning that audience away. I don't know.
Destiny 2 seems like one of those betas that's not built to sell people on Destiny.
Right.
You think the beta's actually like
The beta's
trying
for
to gather
them.
info?
I mean, it's for Bungie to
I like
figure
that
this
kind of
game
beta.
out.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
something like a Neo was like, what's this game? And it's
Right.
like, here's boom. And you're playing
Here's
this
a 30-hour
huge chunk of this
demo,
game. Yeah. So like, now I finished that. Now I'm sold on it.
Was it an open beta? Anyone could come in and play, or did you have to pre-order the
For
game? to get
Neo?
in there?
For Neo,
I'm sorry, for Destiny 2.
Oh,
for Destiny. So it was closed and then it was open. They didn't have
Okay.
an open beta
it
for
was
everybody.
closed for a couple of days and then.
I'll
opened.
let the point stand, Jones.
Okay.
Yeah, and hopefully, yeah. I think from the Destiny 1 beta, there was a huge difference between that and the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's reason to believe.
I remember Alpha was really cool. Beta was whatever, and then when the game came out, it was basically the same as the beta. So I was like,
Yeah. But I didn't touch the alpha, so I was all over
Right.
that beta.
Jones, I very fondly remember just hanging out in our old GT studio as you reviewed it. We just did a playthrough like 2 days in a row, just playing
Yeah.
all day long.
Very fun.
We doing that this time? We're hanging out here?
Huber might be reviewing Destiny 2 this time, so.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know.
are
It's
all
up to
9
him.
of us getting? All 9 of us are getting Destiny, right? Is that
maybe.
another one?
I'm a
Is
maybe
that
on that one. That one's, I mean,
I
that's
don't know how much time I'm
Yeah,
into it. Yeah.
That's not like an
maybe.
$8.
It's not.
Sorry,
yeah.
8-hour game.
Nothing wrong with the game.
I am
Yeah.
in,
I mean, the plot will probably take 8 hours.
Sure.
but I'm already disappointed in myself because I thought I was going to be in on Stormblood and then very quickly said, haha, I have no time for that.
Yeah, I paid like $80 to get caught up for Stormblood. Didn't play it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it for like 4 hours trying
Yeah.
to get my damn red mage up to level 52 so I could do the next plot storyline, and I was like, this is taking
And
forever.
I think of it like an MMO in that sense. It is. It is.
I mean,
you're-
Destiny's an MMO.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Don't kid yourself.
Curious, very curious.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
It'll do fine.
It'll be a big one.
It's gonna be okay.
September 12th, we see a game called Wise VIII. That's Lacrimosa of Dana. I guess.
Kyle. I'm just mad at myself because I was like, oh, what's Wise? I mean, he's going to tell me about a new game. This is going to be cool.
East is how you pronounce that, right?
Yeah,
East
yeah.
8.
He's 8.
This was almost my Pop-Tart 2. This was one that I was considering. But my experience with Ease is pretty limited. I went to the NIS offices and played a little bit of Ease 8, and it seems really cool. And I've played some of Ease Origin, but I just don't think I've put enough time into Ease as a series to really give it a full recommendation. I hope to,
Sure.
because everything that I've played so far seems really, really cool.
How
but
much
I'm
is
just
that
not
game,
quite
though,
there
Ben?
yet. That game is $60.
Yeah.
Ah.
So does Jones lose a point?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
He tried to call out Ben and he failed.
Yep.
Ben, a weird thing about this series to me is apparently it is the story of one man.
Yeah, so that's
he continues
something that
throughout for all of these 8 games.
The only one where that's not true is East Origin.
Okay.
So that's, because you have Adolf Kristen, and he's...
Adolf Kristen. I was like trying to remember his name.
Yeah,
So
Adolf
weird.
Kristen. And so it's basically him telling each game is a different part of his journey.
Yeah,
and I think that's
kind
very
of
cool.
fun.
And they have, it's not just him, they have other reoccurring elements as well and characters and things like that.
We went and we shot a lengthy interview with the president of Nihon Falcon.
Yeah. Kondo-san, he's really awesome.
Very awesome guy. Really cool. Really interesting interview. You should check it out. The thing that interested me the most was when they were talking about why some games don't have Japanese audio when they come to the States.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting stuff. Because apparently that costs like an insane amount of money. And sometimes people just can't do it. Which I did not know.
Mm-hmm.
Action RPG, is that what we would call it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an action RPG.
Okay.
And it's changed different, a little bit, like Ys 8 and Ys Memories of... I always mess up this part. It's like Memories of Celceta, I think it's called. And then Ys 7, these were 3D model games.
Yeah.
And like in Ys 8, instead of it, like in Ys Origin, you have sort of this isometric style and you're controlling these sprites. Here you have full 3D characters. You're locking on with a camera. You can do like flash guard and then flash dodge. And so it's like a witch time kind of thing.
Oh,
and so
right.
if you've played other action games, you'll be right at home with this. Different enemies are weak to different types of weapons. So you have piercing and slashing and bludgeoning and that sort of stuff. So it's cool. Very fast paced, great boss fights.
That's PC, PS4, and Vita.
Whoa.
Next, 2 days later, on the 14th of September, big one, Divinity Original Sin 2 on
Pop-Tart.
PC. Oh,
Yes!
Whoa, really?
Yeah!
No, Jones, really?
Oh,
Whoa.
you win the podcast.
You are never going to play that game.
Never. No, I like when I play it.
Yeah.
But man, this game is going to be great. Period.
Oh, yeah.
Period. End of story.
Yeah. Wow.
This is not. I mean, I'm so confident in this. This is one of the most impressive demos I've ever played at any convention ever in my life.
And most impressive demo.
Yes. Where I had very little context in the game, had not played the first Divinity. It was at PAX, and so
Yeah.
I'm just saying yes to every appointment I possibly can.
yeah.
Sure.
And I was like, yeah, and Larian Studios, I believe, and I chatted with them, and one of like the heads of the team like just played the game for 20 minutes, and I sat over him and watched, and like I have never experienced another game, even like an RPG, where every single time he did anything, he'd have to stop and be like, now, I could have done this, or this, or this, or this, or this. With this character, if I was another character, I could have done this or this or this or this. If I was this person who's not in my party right now, this person would have not liked that person. We would have dueled actually in this moment. But this person's from that town, so they recognized her. So then we'll go over to this area. Now we're going to split up, and this person's going to go in a completely other part of the map, way over there, and do a whole other errand. And then we're going to meet up later. And actually, my friend is pissing me off right now, so we're going to fight just in our party because you can co-op.
So it's a
like
legit
two people
role-playing
in the
game.
same party
It's
are
like
now going to
D&D.
duel.
You can do whatever you want. I think I watched that same demo. I think at the same time, he did something crazy where like he made a healing potion that looked like a healing potion,
Instead, like healing potion in your inventory.
but was poison, and then gave it to someone.
In his party, like a friend, his co-op friend.
yeah.
He's like, "Oh, I found a potion. There you go." And his
Yeah.
friend's like, "Oh, thanks, cool." Like, put it in his inventory.
And then like
and
he
like they
gave
demoed
him-
it, so like they both
Yeah.
knew what they
Yeah.
were doing. But like, imagine that.
But like he gave him
boss fight.
he gave him a
Like
Yeah,
we
and then
lose,
he
but I'm
fought him.
laughing. I'm like, haha.
he fought
idiot.
and like he made a fake healing potion and gave it to his friend.
Wow.
And it was
So
poison.
if you have no frame reference on the Divinity
Yeah.
series, this is top down. This is like Pillars of Eternity kind of vibe,
Yeah,
just a
or
little
like-
bit.
yeah.
Just style wise, just looking at it like at a distance.
Old
and-
school computer RPG is what I would say.
It looks
But just
so
they were-
deep.
There's just so much going on. I mean, there were 4 characters in the party. They were all different races, and like just even going into this town that like I hadn't watched the game up to this point, so I had no reference on any of these characters, and seeing like what they had to do in that area. Like one person's like, I don't know where we have no frame of reference and stuff. So we're like, I'm looking at statues, like who's that person, and like I'm meeting people, and like what's your big deal? And then like one of the characters was like from there and like left on bad terms, and so came back and like I got to deal with my mom who might be double crossing my family. I got to deal like she looks at the statue and is like, oh, that's what's his name, the hunter. He's like an infamous hero of my people, and so just like having that much to do in just this one area was just crazy to me.
Well,
And I was
and
just
like it's got
so
it's got
impressed.
that the AI dynamic thing too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like where like if you do or say something that one of your party members doesn't like, and if that keeps going on, they'll just leave. They'll say, "Screw you, dude,"
Great.
and like leave.
Yeah.
Or like vice versa. Like if you please them, they'll really enjoy it and like stick by your side. It looks like the craziest, deepest thing I've ever heard of.
The Fire Emblem game did that one at one point. If you try to like take this path, the most recent of If you try to take this path and your the party members in your party are like, that's not my quest. I'm not interested in doing that. They'll leave.
Wow.
I think that is so interesting.
Yeah.
That is good writing because people need motivations, and if they
I get
lose them,
so stressed about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm playing Pyre right now, and like every time I have to choose, like I have more party members than are used in the rights.
Yeah.
And so I have to like pick which ones I want to use, and like not having someone in a right like stresses me out. I'm like, they're gonna get mad at me.
I think what's cool about Divinity is there are a fair number of computer role-playing games where you can do something and piss off a party member and they'll leave. But it always feels, not always, but it oftentimes feels canned, where it's like, okay, it can only happen at these specific points in the game. Whereas I feel like in Divinity, it's always a concern. Like it's a constant thing, and there are so many different creative solutions, and the world and the characters in your party are responding to all of them. Like it's not just okay, it's happening at this big story beat. It's like, no, you did this minor little quest in a weird way, and that has pretty dramatic consequences that ripple throughout everything else. To me, Divinity feels like you know when Peter Molyneux would get up on stage and say all those crazy things that you can do in an RPG, and people didn't believe them because they weren't quite there. Divinity feels like it's making good on so many of those big back-to-the-box RPG promises.
Was it in Divinity 1 where you had to like...
Divinity Original Sin?
Yeah, where you had to like... you could bring the ghost of a dog back to life, so it could like
something like that.
Yeah. There's like all kinds of
and
like,
combat was pretty crazy too.
Yeah.
I think there was one thing he did where one person was he did like some AoE and the person was like not weak to it, so they're just like, yeah, hit me, I don't care, hit all the people around me, and so they're like trudging through and like all the people are slowed around them, but this person's not affected. And again, it's just all the stuff they built up, the kind of synergy between those party members. And
the way you setting it on fire,
the way that you can use the environment to just completely like barricade off one area of the room, so you can funnel them in and like take advantage of it. It's so cool.
But I think what I took from this exercise, this game we were playing, Kyle, is it's not necessarily like I'm gonna play this, but more like you don't have anything to worry about with this game.
Oh yeah.
And then everything I saw on that list, it was like, oh yeah, I mean that's, if you liked Divinity 1, you're sold.
Yeah.
And if you are even just curious about that, it is one of the deepest role-playing games that's ever been demoed for me ever. Like I was
Can you create your own character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Jones, how much is that game?
That's gotta be full
I want to
price.
give it a shot.
That's
I want to give it a
60.
chance.
That's gotta be 60,
I listened
baby.
to your speech. You called it the most impressive demo of all time. I really want to play this game. And you think it's full price, Jones? Sorry, it's $45.
45?
Wow.
Yeah.
How are they charging
Even
so
if
little?
I knew it wasn't 60, I wouldn't have landed at 45. What a weird number.
45. I think that's the weirdest one here. Yeah.
Wow.
$45.
God, so worth it.
Hey, Jones.
Such a deep game.
Thanks for picking that.
That's
man.
a great pick, Jones.
That was a
That's
really good pick.
Respect.
Respect, man.
Respect.
It's good.
On the Jones, you're at -3 right now. By the
I
way.
know.
But respect though.
You gotta get
Respect.
some points back. You gotta
Respect,
think about that.
respect though.
On the 15th, Dishonored: Death of the Outsider for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Again, this is a standalone game. That's why it's not called Dishonored 2: Death of an Outsider. It's just called Dishonored: Death of an Outsider. Ben, you are wincing.
I am wincing, but I feel really good about it.
What?
I know, that was a weird face. I was making like a stinky face, but here's why I was making a stinky face is I almost sighed. I breathed in really heavily, and I was like making that face to like disseminate the breath. Sure. But no, I'm really excited for more Dishonored. Dishonored 2 is great. I feel like not enough people know how great
I
Dishonored
need to
2
finish
is.
it.
I certainly
I
don't.
really liked it.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, you're going to be settling it soon.
I will be settling it soon.
50-hour Beach House live stream this weekend. Check
So
it out.
a potential standalone.
Today, potentially, whenever you're listening to
Yeah,
this.
whenever
Yeah,
you're
it could be
listening.
today.
Could be tonight.
It could have happened 4 years ago.
Could have already
We don't know.
happened. Why are you here listening to this?
So we talked about a new Uncharted game. We talked about a huge Uncharted expansion. It's kind of like, hey, we're obviously excited about that. And so you kind of feel the same way about Dishonored.
Yeah, I mean, you can really compare it in a lot of ways to Lost Legacy. I mean, it's standalone, as you said, and it's also focusing on a really interesting character, probably the most interesting character in Dishonored 2. And the Dishonored 2 is great. The DLC for Dishonored is apparently, I actually haven't played it, but like just talking to Brad about it, he says, no, it's fantastic DLC. A lot of people have the same opinion. Dishonored 1 was great. What's there not to be excited about?
Sure. Yeah. I'm willing to move on from that. That's great. Also on the 15th, Metroid: Samus Returns on the 3DS. Who thought I would be talking about 3DS games on
Here
this
it
thing?
comes. Yeah, that we didn't know about before E3.
Did not know
Wait,
about
do you
that.
not pick a toaster strudel and Pop-Tart?
I have 2. They're coming still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I really thought this was going to be somebody's Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
I thought it might be my Pop-Tart, but it wasn't.
Yeah. It's kind of Ben, I think we're gonna play this game for 3 days. I think we'll have the game beaten in 3 days.
Yeah.
There are a lot of games I finish in 3 days that I adore.
Yeah.
So to me, that's not a big deal.
Yeah,
But-
and I think that's what it is, though. I think that's what
Yeah.
you can come in to expect. It's not a super long game, most likely, and I think it's going to be really sweet. I think the improvements they're making are creative, and yeah.
So
Mercury Steam, by the way, is a developer.
Just the
on this.
gameplay improvements alone seem good.
I really love Metroid Fusion. I really love Zero Mission. I really love Super Metroid. I love 2D Metroid.
Yep.
I'm happy that they are returning to that. It's cool that they're remaking Metroid 2. But what weirdly bums me out, I know I just said that some of my favorite games I've played for 3 days and really enjoyed, but with Metroid, it's always like a scary thing. You play a Metroid, and then you don't know when you're going to get another one. And so that's my biggest fear, is that it's going to be over so quickly, and then it could just be 8 years before I get another 2D Metroid.
Metroid Prime 3 will be out in the next decade.
4.
Whatever. 4.
But that
gonna
tickles
point
a
to
different area.
All right, Jones, you're gonna.
No,
have a point.
no,
What?
don't give
Don't
it.
give him a
No,
point for
don't
that.
give it. Don't.
All
How
right.
dare you?
I'm taking one away from Ian.
Okay.
What?
Just joking. Just joking.
Isn't that price related?
Yeah, Ben, I'm with you. I think that we might be over that hump. Again, Metroid Prime 4 is coming out next year. It really will. That game is coming out in 2018.
I
And
don't believe that.
That's strongly.
Do we got to make a
disagree.
bet? Should we make a bet about?
We should.
Metroid Prime 4?
bet you.
We
okay.
are people of
All right,
bets.
all
We
right,
are
I'll take
bet
that
men.
bet. All right, so Metroid Prime 4 comes out in 2018. You say it won't.
No
I
way.
say it won't.
I say that too. I will gladly.
Are you-
Oh,
join
you're,
this
you're
bet.
willing to get in on
Oh
this?
yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
wait, are you not
Please, I want
2018
it.
or are you in 2018?
Not 2018.
I will
Not
say
that
in
long.
2018.
Oh,
Okay, all right, so we
whoa.
got half and half here.
2v2.
This is our first 2v2. What do we do with a 2v2 with stakes? A duet.
Okay.
A duet.
Excellent.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Dressed as
Do we pick the song now?
cosplaying as Zero Suit Samus.
No.
Cosplay makes it way too complicated.
That's
Just
just
a
its
duet.
own thing. It's a duet about Samus Aran, the bounty hunter.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And we have to write it?
write the song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and perform it.
Yeah.
Live.
And, 2 minutes.
Now I kind of want to lose.
2 minutes?
Yeah, the song's got to be 2 minutes.
All right.
Okay.
What, you want like
hope
a
we-
minute
I
30?
hope
We will destroy that.
lose?
Yeah. Seriously.
Wait, so you have to do
So
it
yeah,
if
if
you
it comes out
lose?
2018, win-win. You
We
know,
have to-
Yeah.
we get to do a
we have to
duet
make
together
that song?
finally.
Yeah, okay.
Wait,
And we get Return of Samus.
if
Oh,
you
we get
win,
to
you
Metroid
do the
Prime 4.
song? Or
No, if you lose, you have to write that song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
if it
co-
comes out in 18, we
Yeah.
have to do it. If
Yes.
it comes out after 18, you guys have to do it.
Okay.
Do you have to do it when the game comes out or just after 18 is over?
If 2018 passes, if it's January 1st, 2019, we're going to do that duet
you
for
have
you.
to do the
it.
duet.
Yeah.
Okay.
on New Year's Day. No, I can't hang out tonight. I gotta go sing a duet about Samus.
I guess we can do it like the day of the announcement of the delay. If they say it's going to be in 2019, Ben
New
and I
Year's
can get to
Day.
work.
Nope,
Yep.
plans already decided.
All right. So on again on the 15th, NHL 18 on PS4, Xbox One.
Hockey seems cool.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't
Look,
know.
I plan to have this conversation about how sports games aren't on PC and what that's about, but we don't have time. We're deep into this
Whatever.
podcast.
I'm not sure how well that conversation would go.
Yeah, I don't get it, but yeah, I kind of wanted to see where you're all at there. But also, whatever. It's NHL 18. We don't know anything about it.
We don't know a single thing about
I
it.
have learned that there are many NHL fans who listen to the podcast. They have let
Right on.
me have it.
Hello.
So, yeah.
Well,
Let us have it again.
Hey, why don't you play the games on PC? Why don't you care? Let us know.
Consult Matt Blair on Twitter.
Yeah.
Matt Blair.
Is that his Twitter
I
handle?
think his Twitter
No.
might be
Mattias
Mattias
14?
Mattias something,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mattias 14. I think.
Nice.
Do I get a point for that?
Yeah, you can get a point for that.
Thanks.
Can I go in too?
No.
I knew it.
You're way ahead. So, on September 19th, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite comes to PC, Xbox One, PS4, and we've talked a lot about that game even last week.
That's my toaster strudel.
Ooh.
Those cutscenes look terrible.
Chilling. That is a cold toaster strudel. I didn't think that was coming for that game.
I was mulling it over as a toaster strudel as well. But there's a reason I didn't.
What's the
Why?
reason you didn't?
I like the way it plays.
Yeah.
It's
sure.
fun to play.
I played it for 40 minutes at
Yeah, I know
Comic-Con.
nothing
Loved
about
it.
the gameplay, but
But
that,
you felt
that
bad feelings
story
about those
and
cutscenes,
those
yeah.
cutscenes look
Yeah.
like garbage.
Chun-Li eyebrows. Brutal.
Actual trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And the roster is underwhelming, but I think not only does it play really well and it feels really good, but I think the Infinity Stone stuff so far is pretty creative and can lead to some amusing situations.
Yeah.
Where you can just do crazy things with some of those powers, and that could be cool.
Yeah, things that the designers probably haven't even foreseen. To the two of you, actually, here's the question that we kind of got to at the end of our discussion. We've seen Injustice 2 lead its month in the NPDs. We saw Tekken 7 lead its month in the NPDs and sales.
Yeah.
Do you think this game will be a success? Do you think it will see a similar success that those two games have seen?
Yes
That
and
was a
no.
sigh.
Oh, Jones, you were here last week, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Did we answer that last? Yeah. Well, I just answered both questions. I don't know if
No,
both
you
of
didn't,
those
man.
questions
What do you mean
applied.
yes and no? It will be a success, but it won't reach those heights, is what you mean. Got it.
This has a stink on it in an uphill battle the way those other two games didn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Where,
I think it'll perform worse than Capcom thinks it will.
Sure.
I think there are people mad at Capcom for the way that they've handled Street Fighter V, and I think not all of it, but a lot of it is justifiable. I think people are mad at the way that it looks, which I think is justifiable. And yeah, it's just those initial stigmas, when they're so intentionally negative, can be hard to shake off, but it's not impossible. It just doesn't. I don't think so. The way it's looking right now, I don't think it'll do nearly as well.
And Jones, that's basically what you meant to say as well, yeah.
Yeah, I can say it again if you'd like. You got a point for that?
Yeah, all right, Jones, you got a point.
What are you doing? Oh, and my goal. I failed my goal.
On September 19th as well, NBA 2K18, and here's where NBA 2K18 is an outlier. You will see that on your 360, on your PC, on your PlayStation 3, on your Switch, on your PS4, and on your Xbox One. I think that game is going to sell very well.
Yep.
I mean, it'll sell very well accidentally. It's on everything.
Yeah, the law of averages.
People just buy it by
Yeah.
mistake.
Yeah, I think that's cool. It's cool that game's sticking around on so many platforms. Switch is crazy. It's crazy that it's on the
Yeah.
Switch.
Compromised.
And we learned that WWE's on the Switch.
FIFA's coming to Switch, right?
Yep. Yes. Yeah.
Fever.
I have that coming up, actually. That is later that month. On September 22nd, we see the release of Pokken Tournament DX on the Switch. And that is my toaster
Yeah,
strudel.
I'm really glad somebody did it.
That's my toaster strudel. If you were a huge Pokemon fan and you didn't get that game because you didn't own a Wii U, and you think, oh, cool, a Pokemon fighting game, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Pump 'em.
Watch some videos. Make sure you're comfortable with that game you're about to buy. We had fun with the game in
I was
Easy
gonna say,
Allies.
didn't we have fun?
We had fun.
We had fun.
I took it home. I did not have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why didn't you have fun?
Ben, there's important things I think in a fighting game where you feel like you're getting better, you feel like you know why you lose, you feel like you have this control. I don't feel like I have those things in Pokken. I don't feel that being good is fun in that game. It's very fun to thrash about with friends and
Right.
have a laugh at, a luchador Pikachu slamming a Machamp. No, I don't want to play this game.
It seems like that game's wheelhouse is when you have a group of people who don't know how to play it, playing it. Mm-hmm. That's the highlight of that game.
Yes.
It didn't feel this way at first, but the phase shifting really got to me.
So the game switches between a 3D fighting game and a 2D fighting game.
Yeah, that is weird.
Whoa.
I don't think it
I don't
did
remember.
either one of those very well. And switching between them, there were some characters where I enjoyed the 3D part more than the 2D part, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I didn't love it universally ever.
I think the best version of Pokken is 2D only, and I think they only have fighting Pokemon in it. I would love actually some more cohesion with all the Pokemon that are in the game. It's so weird that some are like stage 1 Pokemon. They're in the middle. They haven't fully evolved yet. It's like, why? Fully evolve and then enter this tournament. Otherwise, don't be here. That kind of stuff really bothered me. That is why it is my toaster strudel.
I don't think Pokken is a terrible game, though.
It's not.
It's just a game that I don't want re-released. I don't want to play it again.
Yep.
It had its
We're
time
warning
for
people
me.
for the right reasons.
Right.
Yeah, there's so many other Wii U
This,
games.
this
that
might
I
be
prefer
right
to
up your
that.
alley, but
Yeah.
just make sure for the right reasons.
On September 22nd, we also had the release of Project Cars 2 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Very deep racing game.
Very deep.
Very deep.
Deep speech.
Deep speech.
Yeah. It's a racing game.
Yep.
Blood will probably
Brought more to E3 this year than you
play it.
could have possibly played in one sitting,
Yeah.
preview sitting. So
Stiff competition, that
That's
poor
some-
game. You know
yeah.
why I mean, I think that's why it's September and not in the more fall of the months. Because we have GT Sports and we have a new Forza game coming out this year.
And they got Porsches now.
And they all, and you know, everybody's got Porsches.
Everybody's got Porsches.
We also have the
now.
Crew 2.
license
No,
is
Crew 2
open.
is 2018, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. How many times am I going to have to be corrected on that?
What about the King of Motorsports? Was that Crew 2?
That's
What
Crew
game was
2.
that?
That's Crew 2.
Hui.
Hoy. Matko Bosco. On the 26th of September, Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony on PC, PS4, and Vita. Ben, what
Whoa.
is that the third Danganronpa game? Is that what that is?
No, but there's Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls as well, but that's kind of a side story.
That's an offshoot.
Yeah, it's an offshoot.
I don't
So-
care about the Ultra
so-
Despair Girls.
So yes.
Okay, so it's basically Danganronpa 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was reading this, I just missed that. I think I would have made that my Pop-Tart. Like, I think it would have
Ooh,
even
my.
involved Sonic Mania. Yeah.
Whoa!
Wow.
You're more excited about this game.
Yes.
This game is more of a sure thing than Sonic Mania.
No, I actually think it's less of a sure thing.
Okay.
I'm more confident that Sonic Mania will live up to my expectations than Danganronpa V3. There are
Yeah.
some things about Danganronpa V3 that I'm worried about, but
what?
I just love Danganronpa so much.
Yeah.
What am I worried about?
So hold on, let's set this up to people who we're saying nonsense words to.
Sure, that's fair.
It's a trial, right? There's high schoolers. Somebody killed somebody, and we got to
Yeah.
figure out who did it.
Basically, the super simple premise is a bunch of these kids are trapped in this high school. You play a killing game where somebody murders somebody, and you do a like almost Phoenix Wright class trial sort of thing to figure out who killed the person. If the wrong person is picked, everybody but the killer gets to go free. If the right person is picked, the killer gets executed.
And is this a linear story, or does this change every time?
It's a linear story. The way that it's described is a action visual novel, so a lot of it is just going up to characters and talking and having conversations, but you are moving through a world. It's kind of divided up into three different areas where you have sort of your off period where you're getting to know the characters, your downtime. You have your investigation phases where, okay, somebody's got murdered, you have to find the clues and talk to people and dig things up, and then you have your class trial, which is its own separate game almost.
Okay.
Is it sort of like Zero Escape?
The visual
Less
novel
puzzle-
aspects are the same,
You move
but
like
it's
that?
not the puzzles in Danganronpa are not the same as in Zero Escape.
Can I tell you one thing? When I think of LA Noire too many times,
Yeah.
but it was a mystery game in which I knew who did it. I put the clues together, and I was like, "Oh, it's him. Let me go arrest that guy." And it's
Yeah.
like, "No, you have to falsely accuse two more people, and then we're gonna throw a twist on you." Is it? In the first two games, did you ever have this feeling of, oh, I know who it is now, let me finish the game, I know who did this?
Yes and no. I think early on, with the beginning cases especially, it's pretty obvious who did what, and it's not hard to piece things together. But what makes
so each level is a new case.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Well, it's not really levels. What I like about Danganronpa is the killing game, while important, while kind of the hook of it, there's a much broader, deeper story.
Great.
There is
Okay.
a world outside of this high school where these kids are killing each other. There is a reason why you're here, and that very much matters with the forces outside of that. That is what's so interesting, is figuring out, oh man, this goes way deeper than I thought.
And there's like a monster teddy bear.
Yeah, so there's a robot teddy bear called Monokuma, who is a fun little asshole.
Great.
Yeah.
And then, Ben, lastly, for the people who knew exactly what we're talking about, please
Yeah.
tell us what was concerning you about this one in particular.
What's concerning me about Danganronpa V3 is the caginess that they're talking about it with, where it is they ended the Hope's Peak Academy story, which was kind of the main story of Danganronpa, with an anime that came out, which was called Danganronpa 3. This is V3, and it has new characters, and they say they're focusing on a new thing, but it'll also be connected. And so that vagueness is worrying me.
Sure.
Is it like, all right, is it really cleanly cut off, or are some of the things that I've come to know about actually you're gonna throw me for a loop at the end and it's going to be connected? And so that's that sort of thing,
Sure.
where I don't know exactly what they're going for, what they're trying to accomplish, because if it is clean cut, then why are we doing a killing game that feels so similar to the other two killing games that we did? And I just have a lot of questions, and that might be a good thing. The way that Danganronpa builds up some of his mysteries is what makes it so engaging. fascinating. So maybe it'll be fascinating, but it could just be way too convoluted and hokey, and I don't know.
Sure.
Just not sure.
In the killing game, are they making high schoolers kill each other? Is it like
Yeah,
Battle
you-
Royale?
Yeah, you have to kill.
Whoa.
Oh my.
Yeah, that sounds dark.
Yeah.
It's dark.
Ian, how much
They
is
give
that
you
game?
plenty of incentive to kill.
Oh no.
40?
That's a full price game. Jones gets a point.
60. Oh, man. I forgot what systems it
Well
was
done,
on.
Jones. I actually forgot about the game passes through my mind sometimes. And that is on Vita, PS4, and PC.
Oh, damn.
Next, we got another Ben choice. On the 28th, The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel 3 on PS4 only. That one is PS4 only. Ben, what is that game?
Trails of Cold Steel. So a good way to describe it is it's a JRPG that has a lot of Persona elements. So, I mean, I've only played a little bit of Cold Steel 1.
Yeah.
So how it changes in Cold Steel 2 and then in Cold Steel 3, I'm not sure. So some of this could be wrong. But you're at a school, you're at an academy, and you have this class, this special class of people. And they're interacting with each other. They're coming from all different sorts of backgrounds, and you can choose who you spend time with after class and build up certain relationships. The combat system is very, very, very good if you're familiar with the Grandia combat system, or if you've played Trails in the Sky. This is set in the same world, where positioning matters a lot. Turn order matters. You have these really flashy effects that can cover so much space, or you try to get enemies in a line so you can attack them all straight on. And it's just a really good story, really fantastically written characters that get way more elaborate as time goes on. I'm way more familiar. I'm almost done with Trails in the Sky, so I'm more familiar with that. But if Trails of Cold Steel...
Funny. I
is
see
just
those
as
two
good-
titles, and I think it's the exact same game.
Yeah, the naming of these games
Yeah.
is maybe not the best.
The Legend of Heroes, man.
Yeah.
The Legend of Heroes?
Yeah.
So The Legend of
is that?
Heroes goes before Trails in the Sky as well.
Uh-huh.
And there are like references to those older games, but I have no idea what's going on there. And then
Yeah.
you have Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky, and then you have Legend of Heroes, Trails in the Sky SC, which stands for Second Chapter, and then you have Trails in the Sky the Third, and then you have Trails of Cold Steel, and they're all related.
Is Trails of
It's-
Cold
it's
Steel in the
confusing.
Sky also?
Is Trails of Cold Steel in the sky?
Yeah.
that what you
Where's that
asked?
steel at?
Are you planes?
Is it floating?
What?
What's the steel we're referencing?
Is this one on
What
the
is
ground?
the Cold Steel referencing?
Yeah.
I don't know what
The
the
other
Cold
one's like
Steel is
okay.
explicitly
Or,
referencing.
skyships? Airships?
Can I warm the steel somehow?
Can you warm the steel, Ben?
Okay, so I have not played through the Sky trilogy. I'm
Yeah.
halfway through the last chapter of Trails in the Sky.
Ben, can
You've
you
done
warm
everything
the
we
steel?
could possibly ask of you.
I'm trying my best
I feel
with my
so
experience.
bad, man.
I'm trying my best with the experience
you
that
can
I
imagine on
have.
this-
My
Just
understanding
slap
of
us both in the face and get us over with.
there are a bunch of characters from the Trails in the Sky series
Yeah.
that go over to Cold Steel, and like the world changes pretty dramatically in the Trails in the Sky trilogy, and so it's a continuation from that.
Okay.
So there will be familiar faces from Cold Steel, but you don't have to play Trails in the Sky to appreciate Cold Steel. You can just hop in with Cold Steel, and you're fine.
Can I hop in with Cold Steel 3, you think? Are you going to?
No, you can't. You
Oh.
cannot. You
Oh.
could with both Trails in the Sky and Cold Steel, like it's like chapters of a book. You
Oh,
need
Ben, like,
to finish.
I don't want to play 2 whole RPGs to play a new RPG, though. You know what I mean?
Don't do it.
I guess I don't do it.
I don't know what to
I
tell
guess
you,
it'll just
man.
never be for me. Yeah. it's
Yeah.
just-
Play East. They said that in that interview. That
play
East,
East.
East is the series that you can just jump into. Trails of
Right.
or whatever is like you got to play them all.
Yep,
Dang.
that's a good point.
Okay. Total War Warhammer 2, also on the 28th. That is from Creative Assembly. That is on PC. Sure, panel. Yeah,
Looks
I get
good. Played it, fun.
It's one of
Looks
those
great.
things. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It's
solid.
that game is what that is. That franchise is what that is.
It's got an overworld sold.
Yeah. Wait, it does?
Yeah, you can see the map of like all the places that you're going to.
I'm sorry, it's an RTS, right?
Yeah.
And it's got an overworld?
That's like the world, so you can zoom out and see like where these places you're fighting are in relation to other places.
Oh, I love that.
And I don't know if you move through that world or if you just select places, but
Yeah.
they have like big versions, like not like proportioned, but like if you see like, oh, their area and there's a little pyramid, the like god or leader of those people will be like walking around the map looking around. But like much bigger than they should be, obviously, you know, like towering over trees
Like a
and
war
stuff.
map.
But like
Yeah.
it's just kind of a fun tactical map.
Way cool. Okay. All right. There's a nice little tidbit. Thank you, Jones. On the 29th, finally, at long last, the release of Cuphead on PC and Xbox One. That is a super stylish, what is that era? Is that 1920s era animation, Jones, that would call it?
Sure, yeah.
30s, I
20s, 30s,
think.
somewhere in there.
Yeah. It looks like a very old animated, original style, like early Disney, early Warner Brothers style animation throughout an entire video game, an entire shooting game. Pretty cool. And
Pretty
it's
cool.
Finally coming out.
Yeah.
Jones, how much does that game cost?
30.
20.
20.
Damn it.
Back down.
Love those 20s.
We're really picking on
Get one
Jones.
for that?
Yeah, you got a point. You got a point.
Alright.
You're back ahead. Ben is right behind you with 2 points.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's coming out that day. On the 29th, also that day, FIFA 18 on. Here's weird. FIFA is also EA. 360, PC, PS3, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch.
Nice.
So NHL, EA says no, just PS4, just Xbox One. What was the other sports that they did that
Madden?
with? Yeah, it was Madden. Thank you. Football. They're like no, just PS4, just Xbox One. But when it comes to football of the world, when it comes to soccer, when it comes to FIFA, they say nah.
Yeah.
All those platforms, even the Switch. Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what is it? The world sport? It's like there it is. It's put it on everything.
I mean, I wonder if the distribution of newer systems globally is less, so they want to, because this is
sure.
the most popular of those franchises,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah, it is.
globally.
Yeah.
So like that to me is like, yeah, we're gonna sell this everywhere, and we want everyone to have it, and probably like certain parts of the country or world have more 360s or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Whereas Madden is only popular in North America, right?
And probably more popular in North
yeah,
America.
Yeah. And so yeah, actually, that's a great point. That totally makes sense.
Plus, Frostbite Engine might have something to do with it. I don't know if that's on Frostbite Engine.
It is on the newer consoles. I think the 360 version will not be running on Frostbite. I don't know if the Switch version is. I don't think it is.
Interesting.
Let me know. Yeah, correct me on that. I'm very open to that correction. I'm very interested, actually, if the Switch version is. I know the Switch version is missing the story mode.
Nice. Swish.
That was a swish. That was nothing but
Beautiful
net.
shot.
Give him a point.
Okay. Gundam Versus, also on the 29th. That's on PlayStation 4. This is a kind of fighting game. But I don't want to call it fighting. I just call it arcade-style versus game starring Gundams, giant robots. This is part of a Gundam Versus series. This one is simply called Gundam Versus, but you spell out Versus. Don't you dare do VS if we're talking about this game in particular. Ben, here's the interesting thing. We actually had a love and respect question about this.
Okay.
We won't get into it, but maybe we'll kind of cover this.
Sure.
Apparently, this is a disappointing game in Japan.
Interesting.
There are cut
Out already?
features. There are fewer Gundams in this. However, this is one of the first Gundam Versus games, one of very few maybe, released in the U.S.
Right.
And so when we get this game, we're going to be like, oh my goodness.
Right.
Look how fun this is. You get to pilot Gundams and shoot people and have 2v2 and 3v3 matches. And look at all of the Gundams you have in this. In
Absolutely.
Japan, they're like, what are you talking about? That's like half the Gundams we're used to.
Yeah.
Here in the U.S., we're very excited about that. And so it was interesting. The question was, when you're doing a review of that kind of thing, when you're thinking of this game critically, do you let that impact it? Or do you treat that as, hey, this is a brand new franchise and this game is everything that is here? You don't see it for what it isn't, basically.
That's such a good love and respect question.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
But I think you have to be realistic with yourself, and you have to be realistic with what your audience is going to be experiencing. My understanding, I think it is the only Gundam Versus game that has made it to North American shores on a console.
Okay, on a console. So I think there were Vita or PSP games that previously had. So you're right. I think it's console.
And I've been to
Yeah.
arcades in the Los Angeles area that have had Gundam Versus.
Cool.
So it's not like you couldn't access it, but I think it's the first game on a console. And I think for a lot of people, for most of your audience, it is going to be their first Gundam Versus game.
Yeah.
And so you are not going to have the context of that series. And I think as long as you're honest about that in your review, I think a lot of people are going to be relating to where you're coming from. But it is good to acknowledge the history of the series and do some research on it, but it is very difficult for you to get access to all of those games, especially since most of them are in the arcade.
Yeah. And Ben, what I think you nailed as a part of that is your audience.
Right.
The people reading your review, the people watching your review, where are they going to stand? And you're right. I think for the most part, it is everybody's first Gundam Versus game.
Right, and like I said, it's important to acknowledge, but if you're spending paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs explaining the entire history of the series, a lot of people are going to be watching it and go, none of this applies to me.
Yeah.
This is not useful information. So yeah, and I'm coming from that perspective as well, where I don't know much about Gundam Versus. I imported it, and boy, it's fun. That game goes way deeper than I thought it would, and it nails the feel of Gundam so well.
You know what? I missed an important part of that. The other two things may be a little superficial. Also, it is apparently simplified. Apparently, the burst system, I think, in which you like use fuel. I think you kind of have like a super meter basically in Gundam Versus. Is that kind of correct?
Yeah,
you have
basically a boost system where you can only boost so
system,
much. Yeah.
And so they've simplified that big time. They've like reverted back a few games where it was much more complicated and intricate before. They kind of took back on that. And so
Interesting.
Again, it's kind of weird for us to say, and this boost system is really cool, whereas other people would be very disappointed. Like they kind of gimped it, they kind of nerfed it.
Sure, yeah. And I'm really curious. I would love to go back and experience that old burst system because to me the new one feels really good, and sometimes you have streamlining of things and it's good, but because you're so attached to the old system you like that better. And so I'd be curious to see how I personally feel about it. But,
cool.
Yeah.
Gundam Versus. It's cool. It's coming. It's cool that streak is finally over. Again, with like Yakuza, it just feels like these streaks are over.
Right.
With Dragon Quest, the streak's over. It's coming.
Well, speaking of Yakuza, I saw chatter, I believe, on our Discord saying that to the Japanese audience, Yakuza 6 was disappointing.
Yeah.
Because it was lacking in just number of things that you could do, number of features, and part of that is because like it looks so much better and they've changed how the fighting system is. And so that's interesting too. Especially in a game like Yakuza, where the breadth of stuff that you can do is one of the major points of the game. I wonder how that'll come across when we actually get to review it.
Right. And if it's a reviewer's first Yakuza game, that reviewer might come in and say, "Look at all the stuff you can do! Oh my god!" And not realize how disappointing that could be to franchise fans. It's interesting.
But that also has a different layer because it is the sixth game. It is a continuation of the story versus a versus game where you can just
basically a reboot.
Right.
Yeah. Finally. Also on the 29th, Star Fox 2 is getting released as part of the Super NES, the Super Nintendo Classic, and that, my friends, is my pop-up.
Yep.
I was glad that Wikipedia even listed Star Fox 2. It's like, oh yeah, I guess that counts. That's the release of that game. I'm so excited about it. I felt like this game always had the short shrift. I was bitter about it, frankly, for so long. I'll never have to be bitter about it again. That game is getting released as it was finished.
Because it never came out.
It never came out, and it was actually finished.
Ian, how much does that game cost?
$80 because it's on the SNES.
Oh, Ian was so ready. Yeah, it's 80. Ouch.
Well, 1/80th of.
Yeah.
I thought I got him there.
Yeah, I would think so too. Yeah, that's 80. That's $80. That's gonna be an $80 investment. We're all gonna pre-order at the end of August. We're all gonna get it. It's all gonna go fine.
Sure.
Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be fine. They're
Everything's
making
fine.
a lot. But I just think that's so cool. I want to see so much more of that. Canceled games, unreleased games getting officially released, officially respected.
Never even released in Japan.
No.
Wow.
No,
That's
no.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
It
cool.
it feels like they're doing it right, and I'm excited. I'm very, very excited about the spirit of the game. It might be trash. We might all play it and be,
like,
you know
oh,
what? They canceled this for a good reason.
Yeah.
Even still, I will be so excited to play this unearthed history.
Yeah.
That's why I'm excited about it. Pretty cool. It is now time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
I'll tell you the points actually. I didn't end that last segment well. We finished September, we finished August. Even that, just those 2 months. Those two normally pretty cool, pretty easy breezy months. So jam packed.
Pretty
it took an
intense.
entire podcast. Yeah,
Some quality there.
And I love doing a podcast like that where we just go through every game. I'm sure I missed some. Let me know, obviously, of course. Ian, you finished with 5 points. Ben, you finished with 1 point. Jones, you were -2. I had 0 points. So let's do a quickie. Let's do a little quick one.
Nice.
Let's do a nice little sweet quick question.
I should have made my goal under 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Where are we at, out of curiosity?
133.
We're at 133. The battery's about dead, so I'll never know where we're going to
We'll
finish
never
at.
know. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, allies. I absolutely adore video game toys and memorabilia, and the replica Skyhook from Bioshock Infinite. From the replica Skyhook from Bioshock Infinite to Skylanders and Amiibo to the absurd $450 DVA statue.
Diva.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ian. Like Diva, Dad. I love seeing video games brought to the real world. Honestly, I would listen to a podcast dedicated to toys just to hear Ian and Ben review the latest Bloodborne figures, while Jones raves about the latest Toys to Life release. Kyle, I was listening to the podcast just before E3, and you said something that resonated deep. Let's have toy talk. What I propose to the panel here is exactly that. What are your favorite video game or animated related toys or collectible? What were some of your most disappointing experiences? What would you like to see more than anything in toy form? Scale replica Kirkhammer, please. This will tide me over until
Blades
a
of
toy
Mercy.
podcast stretch goal gets made for me to personally fund. Love and respect as always, Dylan G. Let's talk about game-related toys.
I've spent a lot of time thinking about if the Blades of Mercy could work and could exist.
Yes, that's a Bloodborne weapon.
That's a Bloodborne weapon.
What do they
It's
do?
The dual. It's two blades when it's in one form, but then they like hook the ends together and they flip around and they like slide together. So like it's like one knife that the blade kind of goes like that. It's like snaked around sort of. And the handle when it's together is one rounded handle. When they're apart, it's flat on one side and rounded on the other side. And you can see where the metal like scrapes together on the model. I like looked at the models. It's really cool. I don't think it'd be possible, and if it is, I think that it would hurt your hand every time you tried to snap it together.
I'm sorry, did you like download the 3D models?
No,
Did you
I
look
just
the
looked
models?
at them in the game.
Oh,
like
okay.
I like stood there and I was like, wow. Dang.
That's a good dream, though.
Oh yeah.
Do you want them to scale or do you want to like half
I want like
scale?
the actual weapon,
Okay, all right.
like metal.
Counts.
Yeah.
Would you mount it on your wall or would you keep it around to like flip around?
I mean, we'd like make a musical or something with it, but like yeah,
a
then
musical with the weapon.
Yeah,
all right.
we'd use it as a prop.
Yeah.
all the time. But yeah, I'd hang it on the wall.
Cool.
The Pip-Boy from Fallout 4 was also kind of cool just because
Yeah.
they had the app that you could put into it with your phone and it like functioned as the thing that it was.
I have so many negative feelings about the game today, but that thing was truly cool.
Yeah, and like I never used it, but
Yeah.
like the fact that you could have a functional Pip-Boy if you put your phone into this thing was neat. That's
Yeah.
a neat idea. Whatever.
I feel like I really like action figures and plushies and toys and all that stuff. I buy a lot of them. I would hate reviewing them.
They'd get sent to you for free.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Of course,
I like watching video reviews of toys.
I do too.
It's so weird.
I do too.
I gotta be honest, it's not something I like do frequently, but every time I like a Transformer, if you make a video review of a Transformer, I'm so on board. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I like watching those reviews too. I just
Yeah.
think just writing them personally,
Yeah.
what I love writing about video games is describing these worlds and trying to condense just these massive, massive locations
Yeah.
into a review format and saying why it's cool and why these characters are fascinating, why these storylines grab me. Like there's just so much emotion present in video game reviews. And not that you can't be emotional or excited or disappointed or angry with toy reviews, but I feel like it's just a very analytical,
Technical.
like this is how well this was modeled. This is
Yeah.
the
Right.
durability of this. And just for me, I think that writing would kind of get dry, and I would feel like I'm forcing it.
Too much kibble.
To me, I know I already had two, but like I just thought of another thing. I'm big about
You'd be
functional
creative.
things. Like toys to me are like interesting to look at, but I don't need to own them. You know,
Sure.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, that's really well crafted and awesome looking. I don't have a place to put that.
Mm-hmm.
But like my friend AJ makes a lot of props and stuff, and they're really amazing.
AJ
AJ Locasio, yeah. And you can make.
He really is.
It's ridiculous.
He's
he makes
so good
stuff
at that
that's like
stuff.
it's like yeah, and his,
I kind of didn't believe him at first.
girlfriend
Actually,
does
like
that
when
too.
I first like got to know him and like follow him on Twitter, he'd be like, "I made this," and I was like, "Haha, right."
yeah, no,
like,
he did.
Oh wait, you were serious? You made that?
His house
it's like, yeah,
looks
my
like
living
the
room is the
Haunted
Haunted Mansion.
Mansion.
I was
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, it's
Talented
amazing.
dude.
It's amazing. But like, I would like if I had like infinite money, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would be totally down to have like replica like Maria's chair from Bloodborne, the old hunters. Like, and I would like not mention it to anyone, but I'd be like, yeah, that's like a perfect, full, usable, actual chair replica.
Oh, it just hangs
Maria's.
out your dining room table?
I have, or no,
Yeah.
I mean, it would be in like, if I had $1 million, it'd be in like my study.
A little Casio house.
Right, my little Locasio, my rain room or whatever, my Guillermo del Toro rain room. But that kind of stuff would be sweet.
All right.
Like replica furniture and stuff.
Jones, let's talk toy talk. What's your favorite of all time? What's the kind of thing you would really like?
I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, he's hurt.
I mean, yeah, I liked Infinity.
What's that?
That was a mistake. That was, yeah.
Was it a mistake? Think about all the joy you got.
Think of all
yeah,
the
I
joy.
I guess, man.
Because the relationship is over doesn't mean the relationship is worthless.
I mean, it's one thing to have a relationship with a game. It's another thing to have a relationship with a company. Like, literally, it's just like, anyone you know that worked on the game, gone. Any, like, ties to that game, gone. Any hopes of a sequel, gone. Like, anything, yeah. Oh, boy. But one of my favorite toys, figures, was given to me. I don't know the name of the company because it was a gift, but my character from World of Warcraft was immortalized forever. And it was fun because it was, I was currently playing Wrath of the Lich King at the time, but I still had Burning Crusade pieces on me. And so it was kind of neat for it to cross over 2 different expansions and really just kind of encapsulate, like, probably the most satisfied I was with World of Warcraft, like the most into it I was at any given time.
That's cool.
So it's neat having that little reminder of my little hunter.
When I was an intern in 2011, I was very intimidated by Brendan Jones because Brendan Jones, like,
what date did that end?
a lot of us would like be out in the common area capturing games, and people would come out and talk, and Jones was always just so serious working on these big projects. And I'm like, anytime I had to go in there, I'd be like, sorry, I don't want to bother you, but here's that footage you needed.
Yeah.
But
Leave me alone.
No, eventually I found out that he was a super nice, super chill guy, and our relationship got better over time, and we started talking more. And I just remember one of like the first times we really had a candid, nice, casual conversation. He was like, "Hey, check this out," and he like pulled out this World of Warcraft figure and just showed it to me and talked to me.
Wait, is it the one that was in the dome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just he was very proud of it. And it was a cool moment.
Where is it right now? Do you have it still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I unfortunately had to sell all of my stuff because I had to make room for all the Easy Ally stuff, so it was very sad. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait,
It's
I mean,
stored
where
somewhere,
is it?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's,
stored.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
In that closet, maybe, I can't remember.
I want to call out some bullshit though. There is something I want to be in plushie form
Ooh.
that is, but they've intentionally limited it. I guess this is all coming from Twitch chat.
This
And
is
we
Toy
talked.
Talk.
We talked.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
this is
talked
Toy
about
Talk.
it multiple
Yeah, yeah.
times in Twitch
Yeah.
chat. But apparently, Monolith Soft, creators of Xenoblade, they have made. So look at this up if you are not familiar with this. There are these creatures called Nopon. They're just the fuzziest, cutest, most adorable things that make me feel good.
Yeah.
I was like, of course there are Nopon plushies out there that are official.
Yeah.
There are not. Apparently, Monolith Soft made the only one, and they have it in their office, and you can't get it anywhere else, and that sucks. I'm sure fans have made plushies and stuff like that, and that's super cool. But there's just something about that burns me.
That's a marketplace disconnect.
Yeah.
That is, they don't have the confidence that people would buy them.
I have Moogles, I've got Cactuars, I've got Slimes. I want a Nopon up there as well.
Yeah.
And maybe someday.
I have something I want.
What do you want?
I really like, because I think the tendency is when you bring a video game character into toy form, it's to make them look cooler than they've ever looked ever. And that's like a great goal, to like.
Excuse me, what?
Yeah, it's
That's
like.
the goal? No, it's to make a toy. It's like cool.
The goal is
like,
to make it look exactly the same as the game.
Now it is, but for like.
Do you watch Toy Story? Toys are meant to be played with, Jones.
Well, think of like Amiibo. Think of like Mario. Like, does that look like the Mario from the original Super Mario Brothers? No, it's a much more
that one
detailed
does.
character now.
No, it looks like his Smash Brothers model, like just directly.
Right. Whereas they have like the Zelda. That's like the actual pixelated Zelda. That's
They
like
have a pixelated
blocky
Mario,
I'm
too.
sorry, Link.
They
That's
do
like
have a
a
pixelated
blocky
Mario.
version of Link, a
Yeah.
blocky version of Mario. I would love to see that. I would love to see statues of old 8-bit, 16-bit, even like it'd be cool to have Mario like from Mario 64, like that actual like kind of edgy polygon model.
Dang, that would be cool.
I would love to have just like Pierce Brosnan from GoldenEye, but like the bad like painted on face version from like
Jones.
GoldenEye 64.
Yeah,
That'd be
dude.
I think that would be cool.
That would be cool. That
You
would
could
some
make a
retro
series
stuff.
called the retro
I've
series.
seen like people with 3D printers do Final Fantasy VII characters, and
Yes.
it looks so cool.
Oh, man.
And I think
yeah.
related to that.
If I
I
had the
think
six
all those
cast, that'd be nuts.
Yeah.
And
Dangerous.
in my various backdoor shady deals during E3, going to all the parties and events and stuff like that, had an awesome conversation at the ESA party with someone who is getting into the business of toy creation or statue creation, and how supposedly how it works is you get a screen grab or video from a game, and upload it to them, and they'll make that.
What?
So if you're like, this thing happened, this touchdown I made in Madden, or like this amazing end of a game in Overwatch, literally like you freeze it and you send it to them, and they'll like, as crazy if you want to make it, if you want to put every single Overwatch character in it, great, that'll probably be like $500. But like, we will literally create that scene so you can immortalize that moment for you in games forever.
The future of toy game,
Yeah.
or game toys. I just have one real quick story. Maybe I might have my timeline wrong, but this is how I'm remembering it currently. I had an action figure of Solidus Snake before I played Metal Gear Solid 2. McFarlane put out some toys that came out ahead of the game's release, and so I think shoot, what's her name? Destiny, Fate, the bullets don't hit her.
Fortune,
thank you. They had her. I think they had like action figures of these characters, of the bosses, before like you even understood the context. And so I had this cool Solidus who had 2 samurai swords and like a weird like I think they're called like M60s, like a machine gun. And I'm like, oh cool, I can't wait to fight this guy. He's gonna be such a cool bad guy. Solid Snake's just gonna fight this guy. He's gonna be at the end of the game. It's gonna be like the fight I had with Liquid, but it's gonna be this cool guy called Solidus who's got Dr. Octopus tentacles. And like it's so weird that even that fed into my misconceptions leading into Metal Gear Solid 2. It all ate up into it. It was pretty cool. And so yeah, that was a cool toy.
Wasn't McFarlane the ones that did the MGS1 line as well?
Yeah, I think so.
I really like
Yeah.
those toys as well.
Yeah. McFarlane.
Spawn.
Cool toys.
Spawn.
This has been Toy
Yeah.
Talk.
This has been Toy Talk. You know what'd be funny? If they had Johnny Gat as a pre-order
It would be good.
for a video game that like.
You go
Yeah.
with Johnny D.
The
figure.
roll of 3.
Oh no.
It's time for bets.
Meaning 3 and you're done? Is that the rule of 3? That
Yeah.
you're not allowed to do those jokes anymore? You got to stop.
He was done long before 3.
The way that the comedy rule of 3 works is
God.
that last one was the funniest.
God. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Was it now?
Yeah. So the
That,
first.
that one, the second one
So-
was way funnier than that.
No,
actually.
so the first one is like it sets it up. You know, people don't generally laugh
Alright.
at your first one too much. The second one almost establishes a pattern, and then the third one really just blows it
You
out.
got
of
to
the
put
water.
distance between 2 and
calls
3.
it- yeah.
Like 1 and 2. There's the distance between 1 and 2 is less than
Yeah.
2 and 3.
the third one is the
By the time
callback.
3 comes up, I've
We've
almost kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah.
Oh, he did it again.
Yeah, he did it again. And so yeah, you're supposed to be pretty amazed that I.
And we all laughed terribly like we just did at the third
Oh,
one.
yeah. Kyle Bossman adheres to the rules.
Of keeping the podcast over 2 hours.
Time for bets. Next week's bet. Look, I feel like a d-bag for this. Like we were joking around with Lawbreakers earlier. I feel like a deep. I shouldn't even do it.
Whoa.
Lawbreakers will be released on August 8th on PC and PS4, as we said earlier. How many times in the 10 most recent reviews on OpenCritic will I find the word Overwatch?
It's so.
It's
appropriate,
I had
though, man.
like you have to, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's we had to make this the bet this week. Jones.
I'm going big. I say 20.
Whoa.
Jones, you're on my team, dude. You're
What,
on
man?
my team.
We think it's too big?
Yes, I think
I
it's
don't think
too
so.
big.
I don't think
You
so.
can't even like begin to rationalize it. You can't
think so.
think for a second.
Intro
I
and
don't think so.
conclusion.
Okay. All right. 20. Ben,
A lot bigger than mine. 5.
what'd
10
you
most
write?
recent reviews, right?
Yeah, what'd you write there?
Oh, I wrote down my Pop-Tart and Toaster Strudel.
Oh, got it. Okay.
That's
All right.
what they actually were.
Great. Ian.
16, Kyle.
Oh, man.
I think more than I think that.
Wow.
I think one of them's gonna say it like 3 or 4 times.
It has happened. We
And
haven't
then
had the
I
word
think
pop
that
up
I
3
think
times.
that all of them will say at least once.
I'm betting 6 times. And
So if all of them say it once, we get that one.
Don Casanova.
Unless Don.
Nope. Bet 7.
Oh,
I got Sandwich Jones.
Oh, Don.
Die, baby.
That's that Casanova.
Oh, good job, Don.
Let me lock those
I
in.
don't know if this is it just being Don or me actually thinking this, but 7 sounds good.
Yeah.
Seven.
Seven
He nailed it.
7's probably
Don
right.
nailed it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 26, and you know it.
Yeah. It's gonna be like 40.
35.
Yeah, and then like I'll look like an a-hole again, double a-hole.
What? I can see, just one review might have 20. Just
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
review.
Like unlike Overwatch.
Yeah.
Because that's what's frustrating. They're sick of the comparison, but
Yeah, I'm
if
sick
you're,
of the comparison.
If you're the reviewer, it's gonna come up. It's just
I don't think so. I'm like, does it have to?
It doesn't
though?
have to.
It
But the
doesn't
world
But I
have
is
think
a
you gotta
terrible
make an
place.
effort to not do it.
but
to. Is
a
it
lot
that
of
hard
people,
of an
no,
effort?
a lot of people don't comport themselves with the level of discipline that we think that the human race
Yeah,
should.
but I mean, think for some people, Overwatch is the only game they play.
Yeah.
on any console
Yes.
in the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
It is just Overwatch day in, day out.
Yeah.
But
So if I come at you and I'm like, well, let me just bring up all these other games, you're like I don't understand the
Right.
reference. But if
It's
I'm
like Overwatch.
it's this different from Overwatch. It's like nice. That
Yeah.
that was the one part of the review that really resonated just for me personally.
Yeah.
So I think you gotta.
But I think
try
if
to
you're the
broaden your
reviewer, there's a fallacy in thinking that your audience is familiar with Overwatch. Like, because on one hand, I get it. Overwatch is very, very popular, and there's a tendency within game reviews to compare things to other games. But at the same time, if you're saying this is like Overwatch or different from Overwatch, like, maybe people were waiting for this instead of Overwatch. It's on you when you have that thought, when you're like, oh, this is different from Overwatch. It's more valuable to go in and say what's different and explain it and put in that work, because it's way harder to do that.
We didn't say we didn't say they're not going to put in the work.
I know. I'm just going.
It also
on a
doesn't
little
need to be a
rant that I don't
comparison.
need to go on.
You
It is
know?
unnecessary.
Like Gearbox made Battleborn, Blizzard made Overwatch, and now for
Right.
Cliff Blazinski's first game with his new company, he's jumping on the hero shooter bandwagon
So
with
the thing
right.
is, I think of the audience again. I think it's an easy way for them to just put it into some context. I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily to say how it is different from Overwatch.
Like, if somebody makes
Yeah.
another Last Man Standing game, they're gonna compare it to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
Because that's the genre of game and the comparison point.
I think to kind of place it like you're saying, that does make sense. I
Right.
can see that point
Yeah.
totally. I'm just saying when you are getting into the nitty gritty of mechanics, you don't want to be lazy and assume that somebody is familiar with the intricate mechanics of Overwatch or specific
sure. I get
abilities or
that.
things like that.
Or that they
that's,
like
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Or that
You
they
know?
like it.
You can't be
Right.
like, it's
Yeah.
no Overwatch.
Right.
It's like, that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't like Overwatch.
But yeah, games
Yeah.
don't exist in a vacuum, and to place it, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a distinction.
That's
for sure.
that's why I bet over 10, because I think that most of them will place it with a comparison to Overwatch, and then I think like one bad one will say it like 5 times.
Yeah.
But
We'll
who
see.
knows?
It's a good bet.
It's a good bet.
Dino Frontier is the focus of this week's bet, or last week's bet actually. That came out today, August 1st. We bet on what the file size of that download will be. Jones, you bet 2.4 gigabytes. Bloodworth bet 4.6 gigabytes. Huber bet 5.6 gigabytes. I bet 4.1 gigabytes. Don bet 3 gigs. The actual download size for Dino Frontier is 1. Jones, the eyebrow wiggle, man. Don't do that. Jones, before I even finish the sentence, Jones is wiggling those eyebrows.
Wait, what did Jones say?
He said 2.4. The actual is 1.15 gigabytes. Small
Wow.
game, pretty small game.
Yeah,
it,
very small
it doesn't. When you're in there, it doesn't feel like a small game.
No,
I guess because it's low poly. I guess that's how they get away with that.
Yeah.
For
Only 4 environments.
sure,
Total. Yeah. So.
sure. Yeah.
I feel like I've downloaded retro 8-bit re-releases that were bigger than
Yeah,
that size.
absolutely, yeah.
Wow.
And I thought maybe because it's VR that like they're like rendering it twice. Like maybe I'm just an idiot. But yeah, 1.15. Yeah. Jones, you won that bet, as your eyebrows implied. The purple platypi are at 12. The red eagles are at 19.
You stupid easy animals.
Who was it? Blood. It was blood. Purple platypi.
Blood.
Yeah.
I still have the card. It says purple platypi on
I remember liking mine a
We
lot,
got to get him to
too.
sign that.
it. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Man.
Here's the thing. Here's the other thing. If you end up winning, if at the end of the year the purple platypi are winning, you're platypi for another year.
Yeah.
Oh, because the
And then
loser has
Jones
to
and I will
change?
have to come up with a new team name. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't
Well, we
like
won't win. It's fine.
the platypus.
Yeah.
It's kind of cute, especially that
I love
Yeah.
the
TY
platypus.
baby. But sometimes when I'm in my room or just going around, I just sometimes go caw because it's just fun to do.
Oh, cacaws
Yeah.
are great. It's a
Yeah.
class.
Cacaw's amazing.
The cacaw is great. I
We
just
should
wish
pick
had
a damn bird.
I
next
wish
time.
we had something like a cacaw because
We
it's
should
just
be
fun
like
to
the
say.
Ravens.
Apparently, in the Lego Ninjago movie trailer, there is a pronounced caca
Oh yeah, they're fans.
somewhere in there. Yeah.
They messaged me.
fans.
They messaged me. They're fans.
That's a
They
reference.
asked permission.
Yep. Before we move on, I heard something that was a little disturbing to me. I heard Ben say "TY baby," and I just want to like, is that what you called them? Growing up, were they called TY babies?
We called them Beanie Babies.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
And what's the company that produces Beanie Babies, Ben?
TY.
Oh.
So weird. So we
is-
said Ty.
Yeah,
we said Ty.
Oh.
We said Ty babies.
I'm from the Midwest, too. We said Ty.
Yeah.
I-
We as well never said beanie. That's cool. Like we said Ty babies.
I've always
did? No, no,
said I've always said TY.
Wow.
Wow. Jones, where did you stand on this?
I've never said TY or Ty. Never
What's
made that
wrong?
connection.
What?
They were Beanie Babies always.
Jones lives some kind of.
I have never
blessed
spoken
life.
the word.
Yeah, Jones, no.
Yeah,
You were
there's no way.
frozen. You were frozen if you didn't hear about Beanie Babies.
I
There's
heard
no
about
way.
Beanie Babies and I called them Beanie Babies.
Okay.
He just
I
never
did not
mentioned
get into the
company.
brand.
But we don't know if it's Ty or TY.
It's Ty.
I think it's Ty.
It's Ty?
It's
Yeah.
100% Ty.
I mean, usually when you see two letters like that with Mark,
Right.
it's
They're
always-
lowercase?
Is the studio called IA? Is it IA
Excuse me?
or
What are you-
EA? Is it IA?
Those are both capitalized.
Those are both capitalized. Let's talk about id Software where they're not capitalized and then we call it
Right.
id instead of ID.
That's
Yeah.
That's a fair point. I guess I just never thought about it that way.
Oh my goodness.
You're disappointed about that?
I'm disappointed in Jones with the weird yeah. Yeah. Like he's hopping into this argument on the TY side. Never in his life
I
ever
think-
had to look at a tag with a little heart on it.
I honestly think it was
I mean,
worth
I'm
it
I know
for
what
him
you're
to go
talking about.
Yeah.
way too many times.
On the
Yeah.
inside of the label here, it's capital T, lowercase y, Inc. Ty
Okay.
Incorporated.
All right, it's Ty.
Ty Deutschland.
But I'm gonna keep calling it TY
I respect that.
because I can.
Sure.
I'm gonna live my own life.
This entire country is based on everyone having the right to be wrong.
You said that was spite.
It's dark times.
We are easy allies. We are,
Believe it or not,
Yeah. We're a group of conspiracy theorists in search for the hefflumps.
toy lovers.
We're toy lovers. We make videos about video games. We
It's
love video
Berenstein
games.
Bears.
Stop this. Stop this.
It's real. We're in a new dimension, baby. And Elise
Wait,
is
what
from
do other
this
people
world.
say?
Elise is from this reality. She says Berenstain. It's always been Berenstain. to her.
Berenstain?
Look it up. It's spelled AI now. It wasn't before.
No,
it
it
was
was not
E.
before at all. It was
It had
definitely
an
the Bernstein
E.
Bears.
No.
Look it up.
It had-
We are in a new reality. This is
I'm
real.
sorry, Kyle.
Look
We
it
got
up. It's freaky. Our entire
It's
youths are a
Berenstain.
lie.
It's Berenstain Bears.
Look it up. It's weird.
What does Elise have to do with this?
She always thought it was Berenstain,
And she was right.
which means she's from this reality.
She's from the reality that somehow you warped into as
Right,
the only person
right.
who truly believes the whole weird Berenstain thing.
My
everyone
entire
believes it.
family, every kid that I
So wait,
hung
you
out
like
with,
Googled old
Everyone
covers
said
and everything,
Berenstain
and it's
Bears.
like
All evidence of it ever being spelled with an E
I
is
have
gone.
my mom has Bernstein Bears books at home.
Okay,
I will
all right.
dig
Go
those
get
up.
'em.
Yes,
We'll get on it.
I will
Prove
get
it.
her to take a picture.
Wait,
of
it's
the-
Because
not-
the
I
old
went and
Bernstein Bear
looked at
books.
mine too, Jones.
think
I went and looked at them
I actually have several sources for Bernstein Bear books. I will
with an
track those
E.
down.
Yeah, I thought so
Wait,
too.
you're saying What are you saying?
Bernstein
Steen.
Bears.
Bear. Well, I mean, there's still Bear in the beginning in,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
any
yeah.
of the
Berenstain Bears.
universes.
But no,
Berenstain.
I thought so too. I went to
Berenstain.
my parents' house and I looked at the books and they had an A. It like was like a horrifying
Wait.
moment for me.
The ones, it's always been
Yes,
Berenstain?
that's what
always
Ian is
been-
claiming right now.
What
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying in this
Is that at no
reality,
point-
It didn't have an E?
On
no,
planet Earth.
yeah,
It never had an E?
right.
Yeah.
That
I
is
mean,
the
Bear has an E,
that
but
is
the
the
end,
first
the
time
ending.
in my life that I've
I
heard that.
imagine we're watching Fringe, and like every time they got to go between dimensions, they got to go by a
They
bookcase.
gotta mention
so you see the
Berenstain
A,
Bears?
the
Yeah.
E version
No,
of Bernstein Bears.
No,
Just so you know.
This is
No, this
time
is
travel happened.
This is
Somebody's fucking
This
with
is
me.
the weird thing is
It
because
didn't
like
have an A.
so many people have this reaction that
Yeah.
it's never been STAIN.
No, somebody changed history.
I
That's
know.
the only thing that makes
that's
sense.
the thing that's weird about it to me is that so many people have this reaction that they're positive it was E when
Yeah.
we were kids.
Wow.
Whoa.
Well, find those books.
Yeah.
It'll blow your mind.
I think what it's called like a Nelson Mandela phenomenon. It's where you had this false memory that you're positive about, and then you come
But
back
like
to it.
so many people had the same false memory.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah. For me, I'm just like such like a
I mean, I don't believe in any
pragmaticist.
of this.
Yeah,
but like,
exactly. Like, I'm willing
It
to say
blows
like, no,
my
it was
mind. It
always
just
Stain.
blows my mind that so many people had the same
I'm
thing.
thinking like nobody read, and I think there's a TV show.
I loved them.
yeah. I hate those bears.
No,
I
that
own
the
several.
Halloween one I like, where it has the cross section
You
of the
hate
tree.
those bears?
I hate those bears
Wow.
Why do you hate? Never mind.
because it's like little.
More, you like them better than the
The
Charmin
cartoon
Bears, though,
was
right?
weird.
That
If you
is-
want something
the
done
Charmin
right,
bears are
you better
freaky.
do it yourself.
No, the
It's like,
cartoon.
come on, no,
the
it's
cartoon
bad
was
philosophy.
gross.
That's a bad
The
philosophy.
cartoon was weird. The books were cool.
Okay, all right. You know what? I think a lot of my references come from that cartoon.
Yeah,
Okay,
I like
that
the
Papa
book-
Bear
I'm
talk.
very familiar with the books, and
The
I'm very familiar
spooky
with the
tree.
Genesis game.
The spooky tree.
The Genesis game.
Yeah, there's a
Genesis
the Genesis
game?
See,
Yes.
we all planned this. We knew it was coming back to video games.
Yes.
Here it is. Okay,
Yeah.
what do you do in the Genesis
Okay,
game?
so this is like a fever dream for me. I
Yeah.
rented it from a local local grocery store because
Yeah.
they rented Genesis games. And I played it while I was on a camping trip
Yeah.
in a motorhome. And I remember one thing from the video, only one thing, that you're like jumping in trees. You're like jumping on tree branches and there are apples that you're collecting. Apples were a big thing, I think, in this video game. Whoa. It was fun, but also pretty easy.
Cool.
That's it.
There ends the review of
I mean,
Berenstein Bear.
that is the only
video
memory
game.
that I can
Stained
summon from a
bears.
game that I played when I was like 5.
That's fine. Yeah, I just thought you were kind of a reviewer that you could be more verbose about video games. We are Easy Allies. That's it. That's basically you just witnessed
That
what
was
we
it,
do.
yeah.
Check out easyallies.com to see.
Donate for more of that.
I didn't get to the donate yet. You can see our schedule there in your own time zone. You can see every single video we make, and it's all organized neatly. The different kinds of shows and podcasts we do.
Write
And
a paper about how Bossman can be dark.
what do you mean?
And everyone still thinks it's light. Look at Ben's face. Look what you've done to him.
Ben is. Here's the thing that I really appreciate
It's like
about
when
Ben.
Jones called me out
No,
on singing
no,
songs.
don't
Ben-
do this. No, now you're just
Ben
twisting
is
it.
one of maybe.
No.
You might be the only person who is willing to do bits with me. Everyone else hates my bits.
I bit with you.
No, you call out
always.
my bits. You call out my bits. You say you're doing a bit.
What?
Stop the bit. You tell me to stop my bits.
I would wager that I have ridden along with more bits than I've called out, and I only call them out when it's funny to do so. When I'm meta-bitting the bit.
Yeah,
He's
all right.
bidding on your bit.
I'm
You don't
bidding
like
on
it,
your
Kyle.
bit.
All right. I just want to say I appreciate
I'm
when,
double whammy on your bits.
when Ben is willing to commit to a bit.
Watch Jones commits the hardest out of anybody and sends me an email after we like have a little conversation on the podcast. He's like, "Go drive safe." Then he sends me an email. You are fired from Easy Allies. Like he really commits to the bit.
That's
don't
good
don't
commitment.
actually do that though, Ben.
I wish I could fire any of you. I don't think I can. I think we're
You
all.
can.
No, we're
No?
we're a 9-Wise partnership. He's
Yeah.
not in charge.
Wait,
Yeah.
you wish you could?
Who would you fire?
And not too far, but just have the
serious question,
just
Jones.
to
Serious
just to-
question. Who would
You have
you
to
fire?
just
You
to
have to fire
establish
one
the
of
fear.
us.
I mean, Damiani, of course. I'm just kidding.
That's the important thing. That's how you make that joke work.
We gotta.
Wrap it up.
2-hour podcast.
All right. Yeah, we said enough. Ian, how'd you do on your goal this week of getting under 1 hour and 10 minutes?
Real bad. The Vons is going to be closed. I'm not going to have almond milk for my cereal.
Vons is open 24 hours a day.
Not the Vons. The Vons by my house. They close at midnight now.
Oh, no.
It really
Almond milk is
screws up.
7-Eleven?
Yeah.
It really screws up my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do they have the almond milk I like?
Probably not.
Almond breeze unsweetened?
I feel like we're in quintessentially in here.
Boy,
But there's two kinds because one kind is gross and this kind is good.
You don't like the sweetened kind.
No, it's too weird.
All milk is weird. Ben,
I'm gonna run inside and check if we got any.
how'd you do on your goal of no sighing?
unsweetened,
I don't know. I definitely made a conscious effort. I think
Yeah.
I'm better about it
I
than
think I was hard
usually am.
about you on that thing. I won't call it a sigh. We
I
won't
just-
call it a sigh.
At
When I
around
sigh,
the
I don't
one-
know when I do it,
I
so
do-
there definitely could have been
I do
unintentional
cherish
sigh.
them actually, the Ben sigh.
Yeah.
Because a
lot
lot
of people don't.
Because a lot of times you're really perplexed and like not looking forward to answering a question that like I didn't think was that tough. you
Yeah,
know? And so
yeah.
it just shows how emotionally connected you are to
Yeah.
to being right and to making sure that people understand you and that you
Yeah.
you answer questions the right way.
Yeah, I do
rest of us
care a
just
lot about what
blurt
I
out
say.
whatever.
It's amazing for as much as I care about being correct how wrong I am. I'm wrong a lot, but I try. The effort is there.
Yeah.
It's okay, Ben. You're fired.
Jones, how did you do on your goal of what you promised would be a spot-on Ron Weasley impression that you've been working on?
I did it. I got it in there.
Yeah, it was great. Jones,
Yeah.
it was a great impression. It was like that was all the hours you spent refining that, they paid off, man.
You never like my goals. When I pull them off, you never like them. Especially when it's like a comment to something. I'm going to
You
react
do.
to something in the podcast and say this thing.
You do always
It's
throw
never
shade at
satisfactory
his
enough for Kyle. The accent itself, when I chose
so
to do it.
Jones won't do bits with me, but Jones does banter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I do like
That
banter.
is
with
well
Jones.
said, for
Yeah.
Jones
sure.
is great at banter that really just makes you sad.
Jones, yeah. Do not banter with Ian. Do bits with Ian. Do not banter with Ian.
Don't
Got it.
banter with me.
Do not banter with Ian.
Jones is the absolute king, and I say this with full positivity, of giving a joke that is like
Too real?
90% joke, 10% truth.
Yeah.
Damian.
Like not enough truth to be concerning,
yeah.
but there's a little in there.
Oh,
There's a little.
I'm the same kind of narcissist.
Yeah.
I know when it's real. I can tell. I I could see it.
Finally, yes, I showed off my expertise of comedy, and I demonstrated completely
Yep, we
the
learned.
comedy rules of 3. Again, this is primarily a video game podcast, but you're going to learn a lot about comedy just from watching.
Stop going to classes, Bossman.
Okay, so
You've learned enough.
I've learned too much.
It's time to forget it and
Yeah.
then actually be good.
I'm teaching now. That's I have never been to a
Those
class
who
in a long
can't
time.
do should teach. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. Jones, you won the bet. You get to tell everybody your Twitter handle. You get to you get the final word on anything you want to reiterate or have disagreed with throughout this entire podcast. You get to promote any Easy Allies video you would like to promote, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off. Take it away, Jones.
You can follow me at Trailer Jones. Those are Beanie Babies. I don't know what that was about. I would recommend you check out the last episode of Fiasconauts, which was great. Which 3 of the 4 people on this table were not dying for you to come back to a Fiasconauts band. That would be super great.
I think
Jones, what is that word? What is a fiasco now?
Fiasconauts is when Easy Allies plays Fiasco, which is a tabletop game and improv smashed together. It's kind of like if you had improv but add a little bit more rules, enough so that people can kind of talk through it as opposed to like constantly performing. And so it's always fun to create characters.
And I'm sorry, why isn't Ben on it? I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, Ben was
He
explaining
was
why I guess
he
don't
was
like
on
to be it.
vacation actually. He was on
okay.
vacation. I was going to have him, but he was on vacation.
Okay, next month. It's a
Yeah.
monthly show, right? It's
monthly.
Cool.
Fiasconauts is one of those shows that I very much enjoy doing. I always have a good time, but I also feel like I'm all right at this, but I'm nowhere near the level of like the people on this table, and I'm totally okay with that. Like I've just
I think you
made
do great.
peace with it.
You got
I think
people
you do
are
great.
good at different things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's what's fun about it. Improv is very fun too. But specifically, we had a person write this campaign that we
Yeah.
did, which was very fun. And
think
it's
that's
one of my
awesome.
favorite types of fiascos where it is centered around a location. So we are all in a museum. It is if you see night at the museum, you can kind of guess the craziness. I like that we tend to bring supernatural elements to stories that don't deserve them,
Yes.
or it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
justified at all. And this was very much like, please do the
Yeah.
spells.
It's like,
and-
hey,
and,
guys.
you know, mummies that walk around and the aliens and whatnot. And I very much enjoyed that one. So thank you for it was fun not only doing Fiasconauts with these fine gentlemen, but one that our fans wrote. And
That's our second fan written.
our second one, yeah,
One now,
possibly
yeah.
more to come.
That is
Oh,
so
yeah.
sick.
This was fun, gents. Cheers. I am enjoying these microtransactions.